this week, Kyle Larson makes up for all that drama with a trip to victory lane.
Liking the number 5 to get his second win here at Sonoma. Wendy Venturini, what say you?
Well, the driver I'm going with has had the best average finish in the last 5 races. It's 4.7, and this guy has the color of a little bit of a wine tint to his race car in those Ally colors. Alex Bowman is going to get the victory here at Sonoma Raceway.
Yeah, Wendy going with a little long shot there. Alan Cavano.
Speaking of colors, I am partial to the color orange, so I'm picking the wonderfully orange number 1 car of Ross Chastain.
All right, so we'll see if Chastain can pick up his second win on a road course. Let's quickly whip around and hear from our turn announcers one more time. Mark Garrett and I will take care of the action right here at the start-finish line. But as they take a left-hand turn and head up the hill, they come into the view of Doug Turnbull.
And I'm sandwiched in between hospitality tents here, between turns 3, 2, 3, 3A, and 4. They go uphill into 2, and then they have a really technical section at 3 and 3A before it flattens out. They go down the hill and into the view of Texas's Brad Gilley, who's got the call out of turn 4.
And that's when they pass turn 4 and actually go to 4A. That's the bypass of the carousel. It's an open right-hand corner. They're going to overshoot that corner and go to the 40 feet. When they do that, well, maybe they're going to use the car in front of them as their brakes, because turn number 7 is
Oh my, whoops.
through the S's into the view of Doug Rice and Mark Garrow.
Again, the S's, left, right, left, as they're easing their way downhill. Then they...
Oh.
Right-hander, and then it's if you have a slide. You're at the, out with the kids, and you're out at the gym, and you have that little slide. It kind of slides down to the left-hand turn number 10, and that's where Rob Albright will pick things up.
When asked about why the change was made between the familiar tire barriers to concrete barriers that ring turn number 11, the most treacherous place on the racetrack, the tight hairpin, track spokesman Jeff Motley said, well, we did it to, quote, maintain the integrity of the racing line. Well, yeah, if you run into tires, those things will move. You can move a stack of tires, kind of hard to move a big concrete barrier. We expect that to come into play. I'll cover turn number 10. That is the right-hander that was just described. And turn number 11, the hairpin, it was pretty tame there yesterday. I think it's going to play a factor here this afternoon. Is turn number 12, and back to you guys in the booth.
A couple of 100 feet here back to the start-finish line, and that's a lap around the 11-turn Sonoma Raceway. We're only using 9 of them today because 4, 5, and 6, they get left out here because we're not using the carousel.
The big thing about this racetrack, Doug, is the elevation change. 160 feet difference from the highest, 174 feet in turn 3 down to the lowest, which is 14 feet above sea level down there in turn number 10. So it doesn't look it, but from turn 10 to turn 11, they're gradually going uphill a little bit then, not necessarily completely flat. But when you go from turn 1 up to turn 2, it is uphill. I don't think we can do it justice trying to describe it, and TV can't, even with their picture. It is uphill.
And being out in the turn yesterday in turn 7, being able to watch them come down into turn 3 and then take the hard right-hander and continue the downhill run, they're hauling the mail out there. So we'll see how all of this plays out today on this brand new racing surface here at Sonoma Raceway. Looking forward to a lot of high speeds and some great action, and what I feel like is a key race for some of these drivers that want to make the playoffs.
No question, Doug. This racetrack repaved for the first time since 2001. It has such a different look. We came out here before, and they had all kinds of cracks, and they had sealer. Now this place is pristine. It's brand new blacktop. The sheen has been worn off a little bit, but nonetheless, it is really sticky. It's grippy, and it is super fast.
And now they're down at turn 11 in front of Rob Albright.
The top 7 qualifiers separated just by 0.2 of a second over a 2-mile lap. Here's the way they'll line up. Row 5 is comprised of Ross Chastain and Ty Gibbs. Going from the 4th row, Daniel Suarez, Alex Bowman. Row 3, Kyle Larson, William Byron, the 2nd row. Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott out front. Joey Logano, Tyler Reddick, head toward the green flag.
Pace car dives off onto pit road, and here we go racing the Toyota Mart 350.
Let's go
Joey Logano
racing.
gets a nice jump on the field. He'll lead them up into turn 1.
Yes,
Yes, he is ahead, but it is too wide, and Benny Rose back behind him as Logano brings the field to turn 2. He exits wide. Behind him, Tyler Reddick, the second place starter, gets a fierce fight to the inside from Ryan Blaney. They turn left into turn number 3, and the field takes it through cleanly as Joey Logano starts to open up a one-car length lead here in the start.
You can't win it on the first lap, but you can lose it. Let's see if they can get clean through this section. Joey Logano leads second place running Tyler Reddick. Ryan Blaney is in hot pursuit. They dive down into the right-hander of turn number 7. Logano has some racing room. William Byron now to the outside. Now the inside of his teammate Kyle Larson trying to get the spot into the S's.
Joey Logano will lead the field down through the S's into turn 9. He's already pulled away by about 6 car lengths. This will be the first time through that big sweeping right-hander that is turn 10. It's Logano, Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, and Chase Elliott, 1 through 4.
Fourth gear down to third, all the way to second. A tight 180-degree right-hander. Joey Logano's lead shrinks a bit from 4 car lengths to 2 as Tyler Reddick tries to close that gap. 4 car lengths back of him is the car of Ryan Blaney. 3 more back to Chase Elliott.
Joey Logano will lead lap 1, 3 car lengths over Reddick. 3 more back to Blaney, Elliott, then Larson. Good battle now between William Byron and Daniel Suarez. That's a fight for 6.
As Byron's never won here, Suarez has. Byron gets around him for that 6th spot as they shake out single file. The leader, Joey Logano, brings them all through turn 3 as they stay single file here, up the hill through 3A and down the hill to 4.
Joey Logano starting to build a comfortable lead over Tyler Reddick. Then it's Ryan Blaney. A decent gap to Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott, however, has 2 teammates behind him. Kyle Larson pursuing the number 9 down the hill into turn number 7. Larson tries to outbrake him. Can't do it. Just behind them, their teammate Alex Bowman now hot on the bumper of Daniel Suarez into the exit.
Again, they sweep downhill, left, right, back to the left. Logano still showing the way. Reddick beginning to make up a little bit of ground. A little farther back, Suarez has lost contact with William Byron. Right now getting pressure from Alex Bowman and Ross Chastain.
Single file all the way back to the top 10. The battle may be shaping up for the 4th position. That's where 2 teammates go at one another. Kyle Larson entering turn number 11 gets right to the back bumper of Chase Elliott. He's kind of lost touch with the 3rd place car of Ryan Blaney.
Got a nice little battle going on here with Alex Bowman. He has been working all over Daniel Suarez. They flashed across the start-finish line. Ross Chastain's in that mix, too.
As they're back there in the back of the top 10 there. Now Tyler Reddick is catching Joey Logano for the lead. They both switched their tires.
The problems, it looks like Denny Hamlin has a left rear tire blowing. A lot of smoke right here at the start-finish line. And that'll bring out the first yellow of the day.
It looks like smoke is coming out of the side pipes of Denny Hamlin's car. He might have lost an engine. Let's go down to Alan Cabana.
And that's the exact diagnosis on the radio. Denny came across the radio and said it blew up. They're just getting him to stop on the racetrack as to not put oil all over this racing surface.
So that brings out our first yellow flag in the Toyota CR350 here from Sonoma Raceway.
Need parts fast? O'Reilly Auto Parts has fast. Need them now? We've got now. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. We're O'Reilly Fast. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Fueling NASCAR champions on the track for over 20 years to innovating 94 octane, the highest octane on the market. Performance is what Sunoco does. All Sunoco fuel at the pump meets the same top-tier standards as the fuel used in NASCAR. From the track to your tank, you can trust Sunoco to help your vehicle perform at its peak.
Back at Sonoma Raceway here, early caution just on lap 2 or 3 here for the Toyota Bar 350. And, well, Denny Hamlin's car that brought out the yellow looked like it could have been just a tire or a slight mechanical issue. He is stopped on the exit of turn number 2, right at the short chute before turn 3. From what I can see from here, and it's tough to tell, it looks like the window net is down and they're hooking a wrecker up to the car. Not sure if they're going to try to tow it back to the pits when the cars have tire issues. Oh, nope, we're hearing that he actually did blow an engine. So the day is over for the 2023 pole sitter in this track and our points leader, Denny Hamlin.
Denny Hamlin is now in the HMR vehicle. He'll go back and be checked out. He's fine, though, but the car, not so much.
Just as he finished the second lap of this race, only 2 laps in after making the long trip out to California, Hamlin engine lets go in that FedEx Toyota. He is out. That is his second DNF here in 2024. Is your insurance playbook too confusing? Make it easy. Switch to Geico and get all your insurance coverage from one place. Go to geico.com today to get started. We return to Sonoma Raceway in just a moment. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
We saw a lot of chaos in the closing laps of the race. So just trying to minimize that, make it more about a race than people just using each other up. I think it's needed. It was needed at all the road courses. While I don't think it's going to be a home run, I think that it will be in the right direction. So many opportunities to either be really good or make mistakes, and they can start adding up on you quick.
For the latest NASCAR news without a restrictor plate, it's PRN's Garage Pass. For the station near you, check us out at goprn.com.
Hi, this is PRN's David Stiles. Join me each week when I head over to JC's Garage to talk NASCAR.
As of right now, if I were to name my top 5, I can tell you Chase Elliott wouldn't be in that top 5 with this next-gen car. He has a lot to prove on the road courses with this next-gen car, but I still don't think there's a real out-front leader. I think Tyler Reddick has been outstanding.
That's JC's Garage, wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
We're back at Sonoma Raceway. NASCAR has some safety vehicles on the racetrack right now after they put some speedy dry down the racetrack just at the entrance of turn 1 where Denny Hamlin's engine let go again. Just the second DNF here in 2024 for Denny Hamlin. We are working our first yellow flag here, about to complete only lap 4 in this event. Early on, the biggest movers, Eric Jones up 5, Austin Cindric has improved 4 positions, 3 apiece for Ryan Preece and Josh Barrett.
All right, Mark, what is worse? To run all day long and your engine lets go while you're maybe in the top 5, 3 laps from the end, or to come all the way out here and barely make it a lap before your engine goes?
That one. You know, you come out here, you prep, it's a long trip. Oh yeah, you want to at least break a sweat before you go back to the truck.
It was a rough race out here for Denny last year. He crashed right along the front stretch, about the same place that he blew up this year.
Started first, finished last a year ago.
By the way, I got to give these folks credit here, and I should know better. California sports fans show up late, traditionally leave early, and we can see one of the big grandstands is right along the S's across from our broadcast position, and it is really fielded pretty nicely here, but they do like to show up late.
I tell you what, Doug, this is a bigger crowd than a year ago, and I thought that one was a pretty big one as well. Let's go down to O'Reilly Auto Parts pit reporter Brett McMillan.
Well, as a result of Denny Hamlin blowing an engine, John Hunter Nemechek ended up getting some damage as one of the other cars tried to avoid the oil, ended up putting John Hunter Nemechek in the wall. He has a right front roller control arm is bent. He's gone back out on the track, and we'll see how much longer he's able to stay out there and how much that's going to affect his ability to run throughout the entire day.
Again, this race at Sonoma, just the second road course event here in 2024. Still to come, the Chicago Street Race. We have Watkins Glen and the Roval. Gone from the schedule is the Indy Road Course. They're back on the oval. Can't wait to see that.
I'm excited about that. I'm pretty geeked about the fact they're on the oval at Indy. Let's give you a rundown, even though we're only 4 laps in. A few places changed. Joey Logano continues to lead. Tyler Reddick is second. Third is Brian Blaney. Chase Elliott 4th, 5th to Kyle Larson, William Byron 6th, Daniel Suarez 7th, Alex Bowman 8th, 9th is Chastain, Allmendinger rides 10th.
Ty Gibbs is 11th, Michael McDowell twice, 12th, easy for me to say, 13th, Todd Gilliland, Carson Hocevar 14th, 15th is Christopher Bell, Austin Dillon 16th, Corey LaJoie 17th, Bubba Wallace in the 18th position, Martin Truex Jr. 19th, Noah Gragson in 20th.
You know they had a rascally wabbit out on the track earlier today.
Easy.
Just thought I'd tell you.
Yeah, I got
21st is Dane Smith. Brown is going to be in the 22nd spot. Will is one of the two Australian drivers that we have here. He's racing for Childress this weekend. Chase Briscoe is 23rd. 24th will be Austin Cindric. Harrison Burton is back there in 25th. Chris Buescher, Priest, Kyle Busch back in 28th. Josh Berry and Cam Waters is 30th.
Then Justin Haley 31st, Eric Jones 32nd, Brad Keselowski 33rd, 34th is Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 35th Daniel Hemrick, John Hunter Nemechek 36th, Kaz Gralla 37th, and the only driver out of the event finishing last at Sonoma 2 years in a row, Denny Hamlin.
Not a good trip out west for Denny Hamlin. Bring home the cup with eBay Guaranteed Fit, brakes, headlights, and all the parts to fit your vehicle the first time, every time. eBay Motors, ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
So at this point, we're very early on here at Sonoma. Our first yellow flag for the blown engine of Denny Hamlin as Joey Logano finds himself out front and very much needing a win today so he can put himself into the playoff. Currently, as far as drivers trying to make their way into the playoff on points, he is just barely on the outside looking in, along with another former champion, Kyle Busch.
Well, I would think if you're Martin Truex Jr. or Kyle Busch or Joey Logano, you can't be terribly sad that one of the big dogs is out of this.
No, you can't. And, you know, for Martin Truex Jr., Doug, he hasn't won this year, but as far as points are concerned, he's 132 points above the cut line.
There's a lot of high in RPM stuff, but same as everyone else, and then just low black too. So I'm not really sure. They'll look at it and figure it out, but certainly not ideal.
We're fourth on the all-time road course list with Ricky Rudd and Rusty Wallace, so a lot to be gained by Martin Truex Jr. here today. So far, really hasn't done any kind of moving at all, but again, we just barely got underway before Hamlin's blown engine.
He's picked up a couple of spots since we started the race, and most of this race, frankly, has been under the yellow. Well, the lights are off on the 2025 Toyota Camry XSE pace car as it glides through turn 10. They'll go down to 11 and turn them loose. Rob, you want to maybe set the first 3 or 4 rows for us?
Yeah, once again, it will be Logano and Blaney setting the field in order as we head back toward the start-finish line. Tyler Reddick will line up behind Logano, who's running second, but elects that lane. He'll sit alongside the car of Kyle Larson behind them. It's William Byron to the inside, and to his outside is Daniel Suarez. Chase Elliott. Behind them, Daniel Suarez and Alex Bowman. Then Ross Chastain and Ty Gibbs as we get ready to come back to green as the Toyota Camry XSE will head to the safety of pit road, and the cars approach the Geico restart zone.
So the pace car is off the track. Here's Logano leading them. The green flag is back out. They head to turn number 1. Logano, half car length to the inside of Brian Blaney, who's trying to hold off Tyler Reddick.
Yeah, it's Penske teammates up front as Logano, just like in the start, scoots away here. He exits turn 2 wide as it's Blaney and Reddick 2 wide for the second spot. And who enters the chat in that second place battle in turn number 3? Chase Elliott, who sees Kyle Larson that was inside, climbing the hill out of turn 3A.
All that fighting behind him allows Joey Logano to pull away by 6 car lengths. Good move from Tyler Reddick to line up right behind him. He resumes that second spot. Then it's Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson. The best battle behind Kyle Larson. Ross Chastain goes to make it 3 wide on the outside of Daniel Suarez and William Byron. Can't make the move. Now Alex Bowman gets on the back bumper of Chastain.
Alex Bowman tries to cut inside of Chastain, and the S's can't get it done. They now wiggle down through their single file. Bowman still applying the pressure to Ross Chastain, as Chastain now is trying to catch up to William Byron. Meanwhile, the leader, Joey Logano, creeping away from everybody.
That's 10 car lengths his advantage. That's because Tyler Reddick and Blaney were dicing for second position, finally going to Reddick. He's about 5 car lengths back. A couple more to Blaney. Right behind Blaney is Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson.
That puts the wraps on lap 7. It's Logano, next in line Tyler Reddick, Blaney, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson. Remember, he dinged up his car yesterday in qualifying. They're back up to turn 2.
That's when he caught the wall at turn number 4. Right now, Larson's in that 5th spot in turn number 2 as they exit that. Really the top 7 or 8 cars are evenly spaced. Maybe the closest battle's at turn 3 right now for about that 8th or 9th position, with the Chevrolets of Ross Chastain and Alex Bowman cresting the hill at turn 3.
Joey Logano making the right-hander of turn number 4A. Tyler
Oh,
Reddick, Ryan
no.
All around over here, turn number 2, Martin Truex Jr., the 4-time winner here, stopped in the grass. It looked like he wasn't going to fire away, but now he has. He's all the way back in last place as the field stays green.
Truex's day just got a lot tougher as he got off course, making the solemn run down through the S's here as Joey Logano. He enjoys about an 8-car length advantage over Tyler Reddick, and then it's Blaney next in line, Chase Elliott. Elliott's going to feel the heat pretty soon from his teammate Kyle Larson riding in the 5th spot.
Chase Elliott losing just a little bit of ground to the third place car, Brian Blaney, as they go down through the gears, 4th to 3rd to 2nd. Heading in turn number 11, Larson goes in a little bit deeper than Elliott. It's right to his back bumper and puts all kinds of pressure on his teammate.
As the leaders crossing the start-finish line, Martin Truex Jr. barely getting to turn number 10. He had some help with that spin in turn number 2. Somebody popped him in the back bumper. Meanwhile, leaders go to the top of the racetrack.
Tyler Reddick keeping Joey Logano honest over here. Also in the middle of that last lap, Ross Chastain lost about 5 spots when he got in the grass on the other side of the racetrack. The leaders, Logano and Reddick, come down the hill out of turn 3 and make a right into 4.
Turn 4A is the right-hand corner here. Joey Logano leading Tyler Reddick. Reddick is starting to catch him, but the best battle right now is for 4th. Kyle Larson wants to take it away from Chase Elliott. Larson tries to outbrake Chase Elliott, drives right to his back bumper in turn number 7. Now they have left into the S's.
As they work their way left, right, left again, it is Elliott trying to hold off Larson as they work their way back downhill. Elliott now, a couple of car lengths on Larson, as it looks like Elliott now gaining a bit of ground on 3rd place, Ryan Blaney.
Number 10, and Joey Logano's advantage over Tyler Reddick is shrinking. Having disposed of Ryan Blaney, Reddick is quickly closed in the back bumper of Logano. There's just a car length of separation as they charge off turn number 2. Blaney rides 3rd. He's 15 car lengths back into the 4th. Back to the machines of Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson.
Let's go check in now with Alan Cabana.
Danny, we don't see many engine issues on a road course. What happened out there?
Just blew up. I'm not really sure. I just ran one lap and then blew up the second. So I wish I had a little bit more for you. I don't. Yeah, we won't know till they tear this thing apart.
But not a shift or anything, nothing like that?
No. I'd only ran a lap, but could damage it so much in that short lap. So blew was my time. My lottery ticket today.
Bad lottery ticket for Denny Hamlin. He's out of the race today.
Leaders are up in turn 7.
Joey Logano losing that lead down to Tyler Reddick. He still has the top spot, but Tyler Reddick now has inched to within a car length as they hit the S's.
As they work their way through the S's again, Logano trying to hold on, Reddick trying to close in. And again, we see William Byron applying pressure to Daniel Suarez as they work their way, sweeping down through 9 to 10.
We'll continue to follow the front 2 because Logano's lead is stabilized now to about 3 or 4 car lengths. They go down through the gears, entering turn number 11 all the way to 2nd gear at about 40 miles an hour. Logano once again begins to accelerate. It appears that Tyler Reddick maybe has a slightly stronger race car, but still biding his time.
Lap 10 in the books. It's Joey Logano, Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, Daniel Suarez, and then William Byron make up the top 7, Doug Turnbull.
Hard of the throttle and then into the brakes. Turn number 2. Tyler Reddick has caught Joey Logano, but they stay about 2 car lengths apart. Reddick is going to dive a little bit harder into turn 3, get right back on the gas, stay in 3rd gear as he takes a little more aggressive exit of turn 3A and down the hill.
Down the hill till turn number 4A. Joey Logano now less than a car length in advantage. Both of them swing wide. They head down the short chute. They bypass the carousel to turn number 7. Tyler Reddick now looks to the inside of Joey Logano. He doesn't have enough. Logano slams the door. Reddick will chase Logano down to the S's.
Reddick tried to make the move there. Didn't make it pay off, but he's only about a single car length off of the rear deck lid now of race leader Joey Logano as they head into turn 9, then back into the big ellipse that is turn 10. Let's give Logano a 2-car length advantage over Reddick. 10 car lengths back in 3rd is Ryan Blaney.
Behind them, the 4th spot is Chase Elliott. 5th is Larson. Larson now has lost touch of Elliott. Elliott begins to close on the 3rd place car of Ryan Blaney as the leader comes off turn number 11, and Tyler Reddick all over the rear end of Logano's Ford.
as they cross the stripe. Reddick indeed has made up a lot of ground on leader Joey Logano. They cross the stripe, 11 laps down, 14 to go in stage number 1 as they head back to turn 2.
And Tyler Reddick just peeks to the inside, does not follow the tire trails of Joey Logano as they exit turn 2. He knows he's got a fish on the hook, but can he reel him in, Tyler Reddick? He hasn't just yet as Logano keeps the lead there. Reddick second, Blaney third.
2 passing zones here. Turn 4A, the right-hander as they go down the hill. Tyler Reddick can't make anything happen there. Now to the short shoot, another passing zone. Tyler Reddick once again tries to look to the inside of Joey Logano. Does not have enough room to get to his quarter panel. He'll have to tuck in behind him once again as they head downhill.
They nearly touched there at the exit of that corner as they work their way through the S's. It looks like Logano is holding Reddick up. Blaney in the 3rd spot, making up ground now on the 2 lead machines as they pull away from 4th place Chase Elliott.
He'll hustle through that right-hand bend of turn number 10, stay on the racing surface, getting right up to the edge of the rumble strip. Turn 11 is often a place where passes can be made if you brake late and get inside of the car right in front of you. Nobody so far has tried to make a pass in turn 11 yet this afternoon as Logano continues to set the pace.
Dozen laps in the record books here. Top 10 look like this. Joey Logano, Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson. The next 5, Daniel Suarez, William Byron, Alex Bowman, A.J. Allmendinger, and Michael McDowell.
When you switch and save with Progressive, you can use that money towards golf lessons to become a scratch golfer. Progressive cannot guarantee that you will ever become a scratch golfer. Scratch golfers are really, really good. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds on average, and sure, you could put that money towards lessons, but if you can't hit the broadside of a barn and think you're going to become a scratch golfer, you're delusional. Sorry, just telling it like it is. Savings, maybe. Scratch golfer, don't hold your breath. Switch and see if you can save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates, not available in all states. It's universally accepted that golf is hard. Progressive cannot guarantee improved performance.
We work hard to keep our cars looking great on the outside, but engine components need our attention too. That's where you can trust C-Max Micro Lubricant to disperse carbon buildup in your engine, fuel system, to keep your car or truck running at its peak. By soaking into the metal of your engine, Z-Max Micro Lubricant improves performance, extends engine life, and reduces emissions. Trust the many customers who said, "Thanks for saving my engine." Find out more at zmax.com or follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
Nice racing going on out there. Tyler Reddick once again made a dive at Joey Logano up in turn 7, but now Logano's starting to lengthen the gap once again as we're 13 laps into the first 25 that make up stage 1. From Sonoma, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Reddick goes right to the bottom of the racetrack. Chastain tries to hold on the outside.
Truex on the inside, Byron in the middle, Chastain up high.
Hamlin now beginning to come to the front. He's got the edge now. He'll take the lead away.
Ryan Blaney sliding down into the grass. There was a lot of bumping and grinding, and Blaney noses into the infield retaining wall.
Ross Chastain doing a great job. Truex right there, big in his mirror as they race down the backstretch here. Harrelson is spinning down the back straightaway. Everybody going to the top side. Here comes Kyle Larson. Larson dives to the bottom of the racetrack. He wants to lead all 4. Chris Buescher has trouble.
And a spin off of turn 4.
Yeah, we've got a ton of cars that are in this one, and Larson is certainly one of those cars.
Trouble coming out of turn 4. Hamlin is sideways. The car spins down on the apron of the racetrack.
Byron takes that brightly painted number 24 to the front. He gets a big shot from Daniel Suarez.
This is PRN.
Welcome back to Sonoma Raceway. For the Toyota St. Mart 350, we're in stage number 1, brought to you by eBay Motors. Great problems for William Byron. Was running 7th. He has fallen through the field, has some sort of issue. Let's get an update from O'Reilly Auto Parts pit reporter Brett McMillan.
Byron thought he had a tire going down. They told him that the tire appears to be up. They think it may just be a blistering situation. They've gone around the right side of the car. They're going to go ahead and give him a 4-tire change while he's here. They've got the left side tires going on right now. He guns it. He pulls out. We'll take a look at the tires, but we know we had blistering issues yesterday during the Xfinity race.
William Byron comes back out onto the racetrack. He's going to be about 3/4 of a lap behind the leaders, which are down at turn 11 now. And it's kind of stabilized. Joey Logano, Tyler Reddick. The guy that's creeping up a little bit is also Ryan Blaney. Let's give an early race shout out to one of the two Australian drivers in the show today, and that's going to be Will Brown, Mark. He's got a nice little run going. He's 16th right now, early on, kind of learning his way around here.
And Doug, he's running in front of the two regulars at RCR Racing, Austin Dillon, who's having a pretty solid run in 19th, and Kyle Busch struggling. He's currently running 23rd.
And I've got to give him a lot of credit. You come in here, we've got yellow on the field here. We've got problems, it looks like, maybe with Ty Gibbs.
Ty Gibbs, smoke coming from that car is either tire smoke. It doesn't look like it's coming from the side pipes as it was for Denny Hamlin, but he is way off the pace, and the yellow flag is out again here at Sonoma.
Aw, two of my
flag
favorite drivers
number
are
two
ready.
early
Come
on here in stage one of the Toyota Save Mark 350. He has a problem with his right front tire. Looks like he may have had some contact there with
It's
something
caved up inside the cavity of the wheel well there, and he's just dragging that car along right now the best he can to get back to the pits with his Toyota right now. And Mark, it looked like his problem started just short of the start-finish line, and they quickly escalated as he went up the racetrack. So, and he got also into the right side fence just past the start-finish line. So a rough start of the day here for young Ty Gibbs. Got big problems, brings out the second yellow of the day on lap 15.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Time for an oil change? Right now, you can save on Valvoline Restore and Protect, the only oil that restores and protects your engine to like factory clean. You can also save on brakes, tools, and more during the Father's Day sale with dad-approved deals through June 16th. AutoZone Father's Day sale, now through the 16th.
With Wendy's new $3 English muffin deal, you can get your choice of a sausage or bacon, egg, and cheese English muffin with small seasoned potatoes.
And with all that for just $3, it really is a proper breakfast, wouldn't you say? Huh? With a light and fluffy toasted English muffin, crispy seasoned potatoes. Go on, Catherine, give me a cup.
Okay. Jolly good morning.
Ah, close enough. Grab a proper breakfast with Wendy's new $3 English muffin deal for a limited time.
U.S. price of participation may vary. Select request English muffin deal with a discount. Not valid for other card or combo orders. Single item at regular price. Prices are higher in Alaska.
Is your insurance playbook too confusing? Well, make it easy. Switch to Geico and get all your insurance coverage from one place. Go to geico.com today to get started. Again, we're under yellow for just the second time here in the Toyota Save Mark 350. Problems this time for Ty Gibbs. He's on pit lane. We'll get an update when we return. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
Where's his place in all of this?
So I look at Jimmy Johnson, and maybe I have a little bit different perspective because I grew up with Richard Petty while he was winning all of his championships and stuff. And it was tough. It's tough to win championships. I mean, so many great drivers, as we go back in time, won lots of races and never won championships. So many great drivers won lots of races, never won Daytona. Those big moments, they just couldn't get over that hump. So to win 7, no matter how you win 7, is amazing. I believe, and I have said this a million times on a million different occasions, Jimmy Johnson's 5 in a row is the most underrated record in all of sports. It gets very little attention. Very little attention. We talk about Tiger Woods winning all these majors. We talk about Michael Jordan and LeBron James. You talk about everything that Richard Petty has done, everything Dale Earnhardt Sr. 5 in a row. Nobody's done 5.
Laps into this affair under our second yellow flag of the day. Ty Gibbs' problems out on the racetrack. And Mark, we were just talking while we were away in the break. This is a big opportunity for Martin Truex Jr. and also William Byron to at least get contact back to the pack. And it looks like that we may have a couple of takers here on pit road. Joey Logano is going to come in and visit. Let's go to Alan Cavano.
Yeah, a lot of teams picked other teams out, but some were pitting. AJ Allmendinger is one of them. One of those drivers, all he has to do is worry about the win, not the stage points that come in now. It'll be our best strategy. More tires and fuel for AJ Allmendinger.
AJ Allmendinger comes comes in. We also see Joey Logano now making his way down the pit lane. Let's go to Brandon Miller.
Yeah, Joey Logano has come in. He's made it stop. It's this rear tire change is coming around the car. He slipped. He's coming around to do the left side tires. He does finish the stop. 4 tire change. He's in. Kyle Busch is now in. They're going to do a 4 tire change for him. Also doing an air pressure adjustment and a wedge adjustment on the right side for him. Doing some work on the right front. Meanwhile, Ty Gibbs is here. They're trying to get off the right front tire. They're also checking the suspension. They're concerned that there's suspension damage to that car. The way that tire broke, and that the right front tire is actually the whole right front wheel is broken. So they're in there working. NASCAR has them on the crash block at this point in time. The hood is up on that car, and the crew is inside the hood on the right front trying to repair that right front wheel.
And right in front of Ty Gibbs, Kyle Busch came in, and he was on the pit road for a long time. But Mark, if you're going to be there for 15 seconds, you might as well stay for 45 because you're not going to get black on this pace lap here, and you're going to be at the back of the pack anyway.
And if you're going to make a big adjustment, do it early, and that's what they're doing there with Kyle's Zone Chevrolet. Interesting strategy. Joey Logano leads the opening 16 laps from the drop of the green flag from the pole position. Now gets up that number 1 spot to Tyler Reddick. And Doug, we talked about this earlier on in our pre-race show. This new asphalt and the tire wear that's going to be different from a year ago, which brings on different fuel mileage, is going to bring on different strategies. And Paul Wolf, a veteran crew chief for Joey Logano, I think he's got something in his head a little bit different from anybody else as we work our way through stage 1, heading for stage number 2, willing to give up the stage win, the stage points, to maybe put himself in better position to win.
It's a big mind game race. It's very John Lennon this year. Everybody's playing their mind games out here, and we'll see how all of this bounces out here. Lights off on that Camry pace car. They'll be in the Geico restart zone before you know it, Rob Albright.
Yeah, no, Joey Logano has set the pace for the restart. It is now Tyler Reddick who chooses his lane. It'll put him on the outside of the track, coming through turn number 12 and headed to the restart zone. To his outside now, to the inside, and turn 12 will be Ryan Blaney. Behind them, lined up, are a couple of teammates, Larson and Chase Elliott. Behind that pair is the machine of, I'm trying to see now, it's Daniel Suarez along with Alex Bowman. The Camry CSE pace car is off. We're ready to go back green.
Word now, Ty Gibbs, the hub is broken. He is out of the event. Green flag is back out in stage number 1. Tyler Reddick will lead Ryan Blaney up the hill to turn number 2.
Reddick had been chomping at the bit to get that lead all of stage 1. Now he has it, but Ryan Blaney looks to his inside, exiting turn number 2. A 2-wide battle with teammates for the 3rd position into return number 3. As they turn their cars to the left, it's Kyle Larson to the inside, Chase Elliott to the outside. Now up the hill through turn 3A.
Down the hill toward turn 4A. Kyle Larson took that spot away from Chase Elliott. Tyler Reddick leads into the right-hander. Then it's Ryan Blaney. Now it's Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, and Alex Bowman. Christopher Bell right behind them. Looks to the inside of Daniel Suarez. Michael McDowell goes to the outside. Suarez, Bell, they'll race side by side into the S's.
They're going to have to find a way to get single file down through there, or will they? As they work their way down through, Bowman under heavy pressure right now, as we see Daniel Suarez also getting a lot of heat from Christopher Bell. Michael McDowell, Chastain is right behind them, getting pressure from Corey LaJoie.
Keep an eye on the race lead up front. Ryan Blaney as the caution comes out.
Trouble. In turn 8 and turn 9, we have several cars off the racetrack. I believe one of those is going to be the 14. That, of course, Chase Briscoe.
And we see the 47
Oh
as well.
my!
Chevrolet went around. They went down the hill through the S's there, so leaders were in a tight battle.
We usually see a lot of cautions here. We're seeing a lot of cautions. Fastball is going to wreak havoc on things. And so I think that's the toughest corner of this track. 3A.
Haha, Logano deserves that.
And got himself in trouble. That's happened to Ty Gibbs in yesterday's race. For turn 3A, you're on the gas all the way through that corner, and it's a blind corner exit. You can't see over the top of the hill to know where the exit of pavement is, much less where anybody else is. Well, we see Chase Briscoe around. We can't really look at it. It's by Truex. And I love the Logano strategy, but this is the other side of that claim, the risk of the track position. He's admire the track and each other show.
Time to saw it.
Penske squad led by veteran crew chief Paul Wolf looking at the replay late in that set of crashes that went on up there. Logano got spun around, and when he finally got the car headed back in the right direction, somebody clipped him in the back, and that's where the damage is, and that's what they're trying to repair right now.
Mark, that's three big hitters taking shots here early on in the race. We already have Denny Hamlin out of the event, Ty Gibbs out of the event, Joey Logano with a whole lot of damage on that number 22, and Brent, they're still slaving at it, so they haven't given up the ghost yet, have they?
Let's also we take a look on the racetrack. Chase Briscoe, Doug, is still on the track, but the whole trunk and the back bumper cover dragging on the ground. He'll have to hit the pit lane.
Let's check back in with Brett McMillan. Looks like Logano may have finally gotten off the pit road, Brett.
Yeah, they put a bunch of tape on the right rear, especially on the right rear wheel well, and they have sent him back out. They were just kind of taking their time because, as you guys know, this is a large track, so they have some time to be able to make some evaluations and decide what they want to do before they send him back out and without losing a lap.
So as the pace car comes by the line, that will signify, I believe, 5 laps now left to go in stage number 1 of the Toyota Save Mart 350. Again, we want to remind you this opening stage is only 25 laps long. The second stage is 30 laps. The final stage, 55 in this event today here, again in Northern California.
No, it also looks like Harrison Burton got a little piece of that action too in that crash. We don't normally see a lot of accidents right out of turn 8 there where they come down the hill a little bit, but somebody got sideways and it was a chain reaction that involved at least 4 cars.
Doug, looking at the replay, I'm not sure he had any help, but Chase Briscoe's car got very loose, spun, and was sideways right there blocking just about the entire racetrack. And he got clipped on the back bumper, and as cars tried to get by, and of course everybody else, the accordion effect, right? They're slamming on brakes and running into each other. Let's go back down to O'Reilly Auto Parts pit reporter Brett McMillan.
And Chase Briscoe's team doing a lot of work on his car, mostly on the rear deck lid. They're telling him that's the biggest point of concern. Richard Boswell, the crew chief, saying that's what we need to worry about, the top of that deck lid. And so they're putting a lot of tape on there right now, the rear end of that car, trying to get it as shored up as best possible, telling them, go ahead, worry about that deck lid, get that thing taped down before they send him back out, putting that bearer bond over the screws on the deck lid before they send him back out.
Also, we see a wrecker on pit road now hooking up Ty Gibbs and the He Gets Us Toyota, that car going back to the garage area. So at this point, Doug, not only do we have 2 cars out, you mentioned 2 pretty good road racers out, but 2 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas out. It has been a tough day early on for JGR.
And a good bit of damage for the Joey Logano car that looked really sporty and started on the pole, and now he's dinged up out there. Chase Briscoe has a lot of damage. We saw Harrison Burton's car a little bit used up here, so a lot of things happening all at one time here. A lot more excitement than we saw in the entire race last year when, as you pointed out, we only had 2 cautions.
And of course, we'll have 2 stage breaks, so we'll have at least 5 yellow flags in this event here this afternoon. So Tyler Reddick is our leader right now, as it looks like John Hunter Nemechek has been given the wave around. He'll get 1 of the 2 laps he's down back. So Tyler Reddick is going to be your leader. Ryan Blaney currently 2nd. Kyle Larson is 3rd. We see some cars pitting, so that will jumble up the lineup here as they've opened up pit road.
Christopher Bell is going to dive on the pit road with few other cars. Most of the leaders decided to bypass this opportunity to pit. I would think that they may be going another 2 or 3 laps and pit 2 laps before the stage. They may just be waiting out the stage here. I know Christopher Bell came on pit road along with Chris Buescher this last time by, but just a handful of cars deciding to pit here as we're on lap 21 down to Windy Venturini.
Yeah, we're already seeing several strategies being played out. Christopher Bell decided to hit pit road. He had started 15th, had gained some ground, took 4 tires, Sunoco fuel for Christopher Bell. And a lot of cars have strategies that we're going to follow throughout this area of pit road, because now everybody is split with all these cautions. Brett McMillan.
William Byron came in and they topped off that car. Same thing for Brad Keselowski, but he kind of burnt the car a little bit as it was leaving, so he had to refire that car, and he headed back out on the pit road. Joey Logano is back in again, and they're looking up under the rear end of that car, and once again NASCAR signaling that he's back on the crash block as they got some more tape out, as they're going to do some more work, especially on the right rear wheel well for that car, trying to get that car taped up and as back as close to serviceable and aerodynamic as they possibly can.
I would see how all of that plays out. It's way early on, Mark, to forecast this race, but the way these road course races play out, the decisions you make here in the first 20 laps affect you the rest of the day. It's not like an oval where you can just race back up and make up the ground.
Absolutely. Just ask Joey Logano and Paul Wolfe right now. Let's go back down to Wendy Venturini.
Harrison Burton is back on pit road. He's been on here about 3 times now. He does have significant damage wrapped all the way around the front of the nose. You hear him pulling away. That is Barabon. They put all over the nose of Harrison's car. But again, it's one of those guys that decided to pit early. They got mired back, and unfortunately for him, he was trying to make up ground and got piled up into that last wreck here at Sonoma Raceway.
Tough break for Harrison Burton, Doug. He has had a tough season. Average finish coming into this race, 28.1. He's had 8 finishes, 30th or worse, as he's just trying to get things together there for the Wood brothers.
It's never been good for him out here either. In 2 previous races, his average finish was 28, about what he's averaging this year. A rough season for Harrison Burton and the Wood brothers, number 21. Rob, we're going to try to crank them up here and get to the end of stage 1 as they're back down in front of you in turn 11.
Yep, and once again, it'll be Blaney and Reddick restarting in row number 1. The second row teammates, Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson. The third row is Alex Bowman on the inside of the racetrack, along with Daniel Suarez behind them. Michael McDowell now in the top 10. And after going off course, Ross Chastain has moved back into the top 10. Lights off in the Toyota Camry XSE, the 25 edition. And the pace belongs to the race leader, Tyler Reddick.
Reddick now will lead them into the Geico restart zone with Blaney to his driver's door as they work their way now into turn number 1. Blaney on the outside of Reddick, trying to beat him up the hill to turn number 2.
Who's going to get that precious playoff point? Tyler Reddick's got a fast car, and he leads Ryan Blaney to the outside of him. Chase Elliott trying to put the bumper to Tyler Reddick, but doesn't get there. Kyle Larson in turn 3 lunges to the inside of Chase Elliott as Reddick keeps the lead. Some contact amongst the leaders within stage 3.
As they crest the top of the hill, Kyle Larson continuing to move up. Now he's in the 3rd spot. Turn number 4A, the right-hander, as they hit the short chute down to turn number 7. It's Reddick, it's Blaney. Kyle Larson peeks to the inside of Ryan Blaney. Not able to do that. The biggest mover right now, Michael McDowell, trying to take away 6 from Daniel Suarez as they go to the S's.
McDowell too wide at the entry of the S's, but he squeezes in front of Daniel Suarez. So move McDowell now up to the 6th position. Meanwhile, leaders make their way into turn number 10.
Tyler Reddick's advantage is a very small one over Ryan Blaney, about 3 car lengths, bending right in turn number 10. Then 2 car lengths back to the new 3rd place man. That's Kyle Larson in the spot away from Chase Elliott. And the 3rd of the Hendrick contingent right behind that pair is Alex Bowman as the race leader charges off turn 11.
They'll be single file when they come back to the start-finish line to complete lap 23. It's Tyler Reddick, Blaney, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, and Michael McDowell making up the top half dozen.
As they climb the hill to turn number 2, the leader Tyler Reddick in that monster beast Toyota there has really got a beastly race cars. He's starting to pull out the lead. Really the top 7 or 8 are about single file. In the back of the top 10, it's Todd Gilliland and Corey LaJoy. Yeah, they're battling for position in about position 11.
3rd place running Kyle Larson has a fast car right now. He looks to the back bumper of Ryan Blaney as they go through 4A, down the short chute. Once again, Kyle Larson tries to peek to the inside, does not have enough room to do it. Behind them, however, Trackhouse Racing teammates. Here comes Ross Chastain. He's just to the outside of Daniel Suarez. He'll chase him down through the S's.
Rolling through the S's, it's still Tyler Reddick on the point. Blaney, we'll call it 2 car lengths, equal distance back to Kyle Larson, trying to make some noise late in stage 1. 6 car lengths back to Elliott, then it's Alex Bowman, Michael McDowell, Suarez, and Ross Chastain. Leaders are back in 11.
Michael McDowell in that 6th position. As we noted before the race began, he said he was very disappointed with his 12th place qualifying effort. He really needs to win a race if he wants an honest chance of making it to the playoffs. Halfway up there, right behind him, is Suarez and Chastain really battling for position.
1 1 lap left in stage number 1 here at Sonoma Raceway. Brought to you by eBay Motors. Leaders crest the hill again in turn number 2.
And it's Tyler Reddick making a wide exit of 2 there. Ryan Blaney behind is not making a big charge there. Reddick's trying to get that stage point and come out of turn number 3 at 3A. Third place runner is Kyle Larson. Fourth is Chase Elliott.
Tyler Reddick with enough of a gap that he just needs to keep it pretty here on this part of the track. He locks up the right rear going through 4A. That does not allow Ryan Blaney to catch him. Still in heavy pursuit. Kyle Larson running in third right now. But again, behind him, Ross Chastain wants to move forward. He tried to look to the inside of Daniel Suarez. Can't make it happen as they head down the hill.
Reddick, nice and easy. Left, right, left through the S's. Now downhill to turn number 9 through 10. Reddick looking for a stage win.
Of course, the real significance of winning a stage is the playoff point that comes along with it. Tyler Reddick would like to have it, but Blaney would like to deny it by getting to his back bumper. Deep into the corner goes Blaney. Right behind Blaney is Kyle Larson, and the front three are literally nose to tail as they trudge up turn 11.
Turn 11 back to the start-finish line to end. Stage 1 goes to Tyler Reddick. Then it's Blaney, Larson, Elliott, Alex Bowman, Michael McDowell. Oh, it's a side-by-side battle there between Ross Chastain and Daniel Suarez. Looks like Chastain edges him out for 7th. Then it's Suarez, LaJoy, and Todd Gilliland rounding out the top 10. Stage 1 was brought to you by eBay Motors. Bring home the cup with eBay's guaranteed fit, brakes, and headlights. All the parts to fit your vehicle the first time, every time. eBay Motors, ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
This NASCAR season, Toyota Racing isn't looking for just anyone to join the team. No, we're looking for bankers, the ones who are open on Sundays.
So if you live for the gravity-defying 31-degree banks like this one on turn 4 at Daytona,
Then we want you. Be part of the action at toyota.com/racing. Toyota, let's go places. NASCAR is a registered trademark of National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing.
At Hunt Brothers Pizza, you can choose from 10 toppings at no extra charge. In a hurry, call ahead to place an order or grab a hunk of pizza on the go. Find the nearest location at huntbrotherspizza.com and follow me, Joey Logano, all season long.
By downloading the free PRN mobile app, you can listen to all of our live race broadcasts anywhere. You'll also have easy access to all of our award-winning studio shows. Get all the latest racing information at your fingertips with the PRN mobile app.
When it's time for a brake job, go with the smooth and quiet stopping power of Napa Silent Guard brakes. Available now at Napa locations nationwide. Tyler Reddick again has won stage 1 here at Sonoma. His 3rd stage victory of the season. He also won stages at Phoenix and Darlington. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
If you have a chance to make a difference in a kid's life, you need to take full advantage of that opportunity.
For those kids to know somebody has their back, somebody is caring about them, thinking about them when they feel like nobody is.
Anything that I can do now to support Speedway Children's Charities, I do because I've seen the work firsthand.
We owe it to children, no matter where they come from. Unfortunately, there is no end to some of the terrible atrocities in our world. Speedway Children's Charities can feel really good that we are getting the most good out of every dollar that's given. At Speedway Children's Charities, our mission is simple. Help every child we can.
Because all children
Deserve joy
And hope.
and love. And if one child is still in need,
then there's still work to do.
Because their future is our future.
and there's still so much they can teach us.
Find out more at speedwaycharities.org.
back here at Sonoma Raceway, a couple of the players are already out of this event. Danny Hamlin will finish 38th. Finishing 37th on the day will be Ty Gibbs. Everybody else is on the lead lap except for John Hunter Nemechek, but he did manage to get one of his 2 laps that he was down. So the field's still very competitive, but we've seen a couple of big hitters hurt, and Joey Logano also has a pretty good bit of damage on his machine out there.
Again, if you just joined us, Logano from the pole led the first 16 laps. He did it.
I'm gonna see more racing like this, guys. Xfinity and Cup.
it's all great if everything cycles out the way you want it to. However, if there's a wreck and you get dragged into it, as Joey Logano did, that strategy kind of goes out the window, Doug. So they made extensive stops. They've got the car back in decent shape, but we don't know if Logano's car is back up to full song, full speed. It hasn't been hurt too badly, but at this point he's 30th, but he'll gain a lot of track position now because he won't pit when a lot of other cars will. So again, we didn't see enough at the end of that stage to tell us whether Logano was up to speed or not.
All right, the field is behind that Toyota Pace car here. Let's see how many decide to come onto pit road as it is open this time by, and they've got the option to pit. The first 8, 9, 10 cars are going to bypass the pit road mark, so the leaders this time are going to stay out.
Wow, so it looks like, are we going a two-stop kind of thing?
Seems to be the play. Only a couple of cars in the back are going to come on the pit road. It looks like Kyle Busch and Martin Truex Jr., who both had adventures in racing already today, will decide to come in here and pit because, frankly, they had such poor track position. It doesn't hurt them to come on to pit road. Let's go down to Alan Cabana.
A late call for A.J. Allmendinger to pit once again. Remember, he's already pitted earlier. He was supposed to cycle out to be the leader right now because of that strategy, but under caution, his car shut off, and he lost a lot of track position out there under caution. Totally threw off the strategy, so because of it, they've changed everything. They're now pitting again to get on a different strategy, Wendy Venturini.
Martin Truex Jr. came down pit road. His crew chief James Small said, since the leaders are probably going to stay out, it's our advantage to hit pit road during this time and get off cycle from them. Martin Truex Jr. really struggling to gain some track position early on in this race. His left rear has been a little bit less sensitive since he went for a turn off the track, but it seems like he
Guys, look at this. I got a dinosaur's autograph.
earlier in this race. Brett McMillan.
All right, Kyle Busch has come back in. The first time he came in, they told him that the wheel was bent on the right side of that car, but there was no chassis damage. So he's back out there. No major issues for him. He came in and made a pit stop. Joey Logano's back in again, and they're once again doing some work on the right side of that car, trying to shore it up as best possible.
Well, Brett, there is going to be one little major issue for Kyle Busch here, and that's going to be track position. He's going to be back around 30th when they restart this race, and the later you get, the less opportunity you have the chance to jump to a different lily pad and take over.
But they do have more fuel now and tires than the guys up front, so they'll be able to go quite a bit longer after those cars eventually decide to pit for the first time. And it's kind of weird. You see different strategies, right? And you go, I wonder how that's going to play out. And we never can really see the full picture until everybody's made that final stop and we're, right there in that third and final stage. You go like, oh, that's how everything is working out. That car you thought was going to be up front isn't. The car you thought was maybe out of sequence, they're in better shape. And again, as these different strategies play out, we'll have to see how it eventually settles out here at the end of the Toyota Safe Mark 350.
So far, we've had 4 yellows for a total of 9 laps here as we have 28 laps to go in this second stage. Let's go ahead and take you through a full field rundown right now. Tyler Reddick is the race leader. Blaney is second. Kyle Larson is third. Chase Elliott fourth. Fifth to Alex Bowman. Michael McDowell is sixth. Seventh is Ross Chastain. Daniel Suarez eighth. Corey LaJoy 9th, and Todd Gilliland is riding 10th.
Carson Hocevar 11th, Bubba Wallace 12th, Noah Gregson is 13th. Kyle Busch was listed 14th, but he'll be farther back in the pack after he just pitted. Then 15th, Austin Cindric, Austin Dillon 16th, Cam Waters 17th, 18th, Josh Berry, William Byron 19th, 20th, Zane Smith.
We'll let the rest of the field float by the start-finish line here so our scoring catches up and we can give you an accurate picture of the back half of this. By the way, this leaderboard is brought to you by Rheem. Visit Rheem.com to find a contractor near you. Rheem, the provider of new degree of comfort and the proud sponsor, of course, of Christopher Bell in the number 20 Toyota that slips right by our broadcast position as we talk here. Let's pick up the back half of the field right now, and it is going to be Eric Jones, Christopher Bell in 21st. Brad Keselowski rides 22nd. Will Brown will be in 23rd. Chris Buescher 24th. 25th, Chase Briscoe. Martin Truex Jr. 26th. 27th will be Kyle Busch. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is 28th. 29th is Ryan Preece. Daniel Hemrick 30th.
Then 31st, A.J. Allmendinger, Kaz Gralla 32nd, 33rd, Justin Haley, John Hunter Nemechek scored 34th, 35th, still on the lead lap, Joey Logano, Harrison Burton also listed on the lead lap in 36th, Again, 2 cars out, both of them Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas. 37th place today will go to Ty Gibbs. 38th, Denny Hamlin. For the second year in a row, the FedEx Toyota driver is going to finish last at Sonoma.
Joey Logano is going to take advantage of this caution to come back on the pit road. We can see his position right there below us. More bearer bond on the number 22 Ford. And Mark, it's starting to feel like for Logano, this is just, let's try to get to the end.
Well, again, it's an uphill climb for certain. If somehow they can get that car back up to speed, it might take maybe a minor miracle. You never know. But they're taking the time to do it, Doug. Again, they have plenty of time under yellow here at Sonoma to be able to do that. He can't lose any more track position. He's back there, last car on the lead lap at this particular point. And again, as we circulate around the racetrack, have we been given the one to go? Indeed, we have. When they take the green flag, that'll be lap 4 completed in stage 2. Still leaves us 26 to go.
They're down in front of Rob Albright in turn 11.
Yeah, once again, it will be Tyler Reddick and Ryan Blaney occupying the front row. The second row will consist of those teammates from the Hendrick stable. That, of course, is the car of Kyle Larson, the machine of Chase Elliott. Then in row number 3 is Alex Bowman, along with Michael McDowell, who's working his way toward the front. The fourth row, a couple of teammates, is Ross Chastain and Daniel Suarez. The pace car will now start to the right. The lights are off. We're ready to go back to racing as they approach the no restart zone.
And the field is ready to turn it loose here with 26 laps to go in stage 2. Side by side, Blaney on the inside. To his outside is Tyler Reddick. Reddick gets a little bit of jump, but Blaney comes roaring back to the inside as they head to the top of the hill in turn 2.
And Reddick surges up that hill. That Toyota horsepower really pulling him into turn number 2 with Blaney to his outside hip and Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson right behind. A good battle for that 4th position, too. It's Alex Bowman as Michael McDowell to his outside. A little contact between Suarez, Gilliland, and McDowell as they head to turn 3A.
Tyler Reddick leading Ryan Blaney. Then it's Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson. But behind them, side by side, Ross Chastain is on the inside of Alex Bowman. Alex Bowman on driver's left as they go through the right-hander in turn number 7. Ross Chastain will squeeze it wide. He'll take over that 5th spot into the S's.
And there was a little bit of contact there between Blaney and Chase Elliott. They're back down into the S's right now. Reddick continues to lead. It's going to be Blaney, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott back to 4th. 5th is Ross Chastain. 6th will be Alex Bowman. Then it's Michael McDowell. Corey LaJoy having a nice run here today as he's up to 8th.
So far, the race today much more physical than the one we witnessed yesterday. By that, I mean a lot more bumping and running and pushing and shoving around the racetrack. This time in turn 11, single file about 10 deep, but Corey LaJoy gets into the back number of Gilliland entering turn 11.
Michael McDowell putting the heat now on Alex Bowman. McDowell started 12. He's now 7.
Really
trying to move up one more spot as they crest the hill in turn number 2.
Yeah, that's right outside the top 5 there. Michael McDowell there puts a lot of pressure himself to win because he's back in the points here, and he doesn't have that spot now. The leader, Tyler Reddick, crest turn 3A and down at turn 4A.
Tyler Reddick able to drive away from second place running Ryan Blaney. The right-hander for Reddick in turn number 4A, but right behind Ryan Blaney. Kyle Larson looks hungry. He heads down the short chute, drives up to the back bumper of Blaney. He'll stay off his back bumper as they wrap around turn number 7. Tyler Reddick now heads into the S's, leading this race and pulling away.
Problems for Austin Cindric. He got put off the racetrack in turn 2. He has now turned that car back on the right direction, made his way through the grass and dirt back to the asphalt as leaders make their way into turn number 10.
The point of contention right now is the fight for the second position as Tyler Reddick stretches it to 8 car lengths over Blaney. Blaney feeling a lot of heat as he downshifts from 4th to 2nd gear with right on his back bumper Kyle Larson as Larson tags up right behind Larson. Chase Elliott is there right as well, and Ross Chastain beginning to make up some ground.
Leaders back to start-finish line. That was a good lap there for Tyler Reddick. He pulled a little bit away from Blaney. Larson is lurking there in the 3rd spot with Chase Elliott hanging on to 4th.
That's definitely the tightest battle inside the top 5 as they turn out of turn number 2. It's Larson 3rd, Elliott 4th. Elliott has not won at Sonoma before Larson has. Right behind him is Ross Chastain, who lost spots early in the race, but is now back in that 5th or 6th position.
Problems here for Will Brown. He is off course, Rob Albright. It looks like he's pulled off off of the racetrack in front of you down in turn 11.
I caught him out of the corner of my eyes. I was watching the leaders go down the front stretch. He's come to a rest in the middle of the race course. He's not on the racing group, not in any jeopardy or danger, so will remain green. I'm not sure if he hit something or if he simply had a problem with the race car, maybe a transmission failure, transaxle failure, or maybe an engine problem, but that car is sitting dead in the water. And finally, the caution is displayed.
Fifth yellow of the day, and this is for car number 33. That's
How many
Will Brown.
cautions
He
are we
was
getting
in
this
the
race?
Childress Racing Machine this week, of course, the Australian driver, and he has now effectively ended his day, it looks like. Let's go down to Brett McMillan.
Hey, he says he has an electrical fire behind the dash. He saw a little spark and then smelled some smoke, so that's why he's pulled off the race course.
I did not want to miss a chance to mention his hometown of Toowoomba, Queensland, Australia. I had to work that in at least one time.
Toowoomba?
Toowoomba. I worked on that. So tough that I had to mention that. But he does refire the car, and he's now driving down the pit road, so they may be able to patch that car back together, although if there's a fire behind the firewall, that's not good. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Silence is golden, especially when it comes to brakes. That's why Napa Silent Guard are built to be one of the smoothest and most quiet brakes on the market. Made with fiber-reinforced shims that eliminate noise for the life of the pad, rubber-coated hardware for a better fit, and quality design that meets and exceeds OE performance. Silent Guard brakes deliver the stopping power drivers demand. Available now at Napa locations nationwide.
This summer, NASCAR is back at Nashville Superspeedway, June 28th through the 30th for the Allied 400 race weekend. Guitars and fast cars right here in Music City. From the campgrounds to the track, you don't want to miss the excitement. Get your tickets now to watch your favorite drivers take on the 1.33 miles of concrete chaos.
Chastain up high, and they stay glued together into one.
Visit NashvilleSuperspeedway.com to lock in your spot for the Rackley Roofing 200, the Tennessee Lottery 250, and the Allied 400 now.
We want to encourage you to check out PRN's YouTube channel. That's Go PRN Live. Why don't you like and subscribe? There's a lot of great content on there each and every week. We keep it updated and fresh. Check out Go PRN Live today. From Sonoma Raceway, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Hey, this is Carson Osvar, and you're listening to Country Radio Hall of Famers Kathy Martindale and Paul Shad on Racing Country Classic.
It's Kathy and Tim McGraw.
I can see you getting more into the technical. I can see you producing.
It's a fun thing to learn. I enjoy doing it. When I get the opportunities to do it, I try to learn as much as I can.
Hey, it's Kathy Martindale and Paul Shad on Racing Country Classic.
Racing Country Classic.
Each year, vehicle trespasser and pedestrian accidents along railroads change the course of innocent lives. From train operators and passengers to families and first responders. Interacting safely with tracks and trains is the goal. It's important to be alert when approaching crossings. Never drive or walk around lowered gates. Do not walk on or beside the tracks. Trespassing is dangerous and illegal. Don't risk your life. Keep clear and stay safe. For more information, visit metrolinktrains.com/staysafe.
So glad you could join us on this PRN broadcast from Sonoma Raceway. Mark Darrow with Doug Rice high atop this racetrack. Our turn announcers today, Doug Turnbull, Brad Gilly, Rob Albright, our O'Reilly Auto Parts pit reporters, Wendy Venturini, Alan Cabana, and Brett McMillan. Now time for a leaderboard update brought to you by Hunt Brothers Pizza, where we love racing and we love pizza. For your next pizza, get it at huntbrotherspizza.com. or download the Hunt Brothers Pizza app. Tyler Reddick currently showing the way. Ryan Blaney second. Third is Kyle Larson. Fourth is Chase Elliott. Fifth is Ross Chastain. Alex Bowman sixth. Todd Gilliland seventh. Eighth, Daniel Suarez. Austin Dillon ninth. 10th is Bubba Wallace.
Cam Waters rides 11th. 12th is William Byron. Zane Smith 13th. 14th will be Christopher Bell. Josh Berry 15th. Martin Truex Jr. has rallied back up to 16th. Chris Buescher 17th. Eric Jones 18th. 19th. Brad Keselowski. Kyle Busch 20th.
After pitting, Michael McDowell now 21st. 22nd is Ryan Preece. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 23rd. A.J. Allmendinger 24th. 25th, Corey LaJoie. Joey Logano now 26th. 27th, Justin Haley, Kaz Brawla, 28th. 29th is Daniel Hemrick. 30th, Noah Gregson.
31st, Harrison Burton, Carson Hocevar, 32nd. 33rd, Chase Briscoe, Austin Cindric, 34th. John Hunter Nemechek got back on the lead lap. He is 35th. Will Brown is 36, minus 1 lap. These two cars are out of the race. That's Ty Gibbs and Denny Hamlin.
Now, Will Brown, by stopping on the racetrack, bringing out the yellow, but then taking a shortcut to pit road, well, NASCAR is going to hold him on pit road for 1 lap as a penalty. Tyler Reddick is out front. You know, going into these road races, a lot of times people don't mention Tyler Reddick, but he's won 3 road courses already. Road America, Indy, the Indy Grand Prix course, and then, of course, one at COTA. And this is a very good road racer. Underrated, because a lot of times when you're talking about road course favorites, his name doesn't always come top of mind, but he can get it done turning left and right.
Chase Elliott's hanging in there today. He's riding 4th right now. Rob Albright, they're about to queue up in front of you in the hairpin that is turn 11.
Sounds a bit redundant, but the front row will be exactly as it has been the last 3 restarts, with Tyler Reddick being pursued by Ryan Blaney. Then it will be the Hendrick teammates, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott in the 2nd row, 3rd row, Ross Chastain, and Alex Bowman. 4th row will be Todd Gilliland, who's having a great afternoon, and Chastain's teammate, Daniel Suarez. He'll restart in 8th position. The field very slowly off turn number 11. They'll get ready to fire off as the Toyota Camry XSE makes its way off the racing surface and onto the safety of pit road.
So here's Reddick with Blaney right there beside him as they work their way into the Geico restart zone. Green flags out. Blaney got a bit of a jump on Reddick. He's got a bit of a lead in turn 1. Now Reddick draws even as they ride door to door up the hill to turn number 2.
Who has the best horsepower up that full throttle hill? Looks like Blaney does. He gets a wide exit off the corner. They are door to door, wheel to wheel into turn number 3. Play it chicken. Who's going to break first? Looks like Brady does. Reddick surges ahead out of turn 3 and takes the lead back.
Here comes your reigning champion to the outside. It's not going to be enough. Tyler Reddick is going to take the right-hander to the inside, and right behind him is going to be Kyle Larson. Now challenging Ryan Blaney for that 2nd spot. Larson with the advantage on the right-hander of turn number 7. Right behind Larson is Ross Chastain. He's trying to take away 4th from Chase Elliott.
After the restart, Larson now from 4th up to the 2nd spot. He will now chase Tyler Reddick downhill, turn 9. Reddick is out of shape as he comes down the hill. Now he gathers it up as he hits turn 10.
You gotta love these restarts because it's hold your breath time as they go door to door fighting. Now they single file out once again, heading to turn number 11. Tyler Reddick has the lead, but a new 2nd place car. That is Kyle Larson. He's been very patient. Now he's just got 1 car in front of him.
Josh Berry gets into that inside wall right in front of you, and they're piled up in turn 11.
Almost everybody refires and gets going.
Oh my goodness! What happened here? I think the jump rig get turned. What happened there?
We see that the machine of Josh Berry is still sitting turned around.
And when those tires get locked up like that, on those next tires, that started all the way back at turn 10 with that alternator way off in the dirt. Perhaps.
My goodness, what happened here? Let's see if we get a replay.
One car went off at turn 10. They were side by side coming into the corner. Somebody kicked up a ton of dust, and from there on back, there was trouble. Here they come. See it back here. Keep an eye on them. Thomas Eric Jones got into Josh Berry. As they came out of turn 10, the lowest part.
Did it freeze? What was that?
As we re-rank that replay for you. And gosh, the cautions. Man, it just gets harder.
That was not even a replay. What was that? Oh, there we go. What happened here?
Back across, that's not going to be a factor, is it? Well, he made a block on Derek Jones. Behind him was the thing. Eric Jones was already there, pushed him into it, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all of them, he wrecked them all. Thought of pushing and shoving on these restarts. Inside of turn 11 here.
Put the audio back. Come on.
They got most of that cleared up now?
Yeah, we see safety workers still down there cleaning up a little bit of something. I'm not sure if there's liquid on the racetrack. There doesn't seem to be any intensity to their efforts, but they stopped at the top of the racetrack. I say the top, it's the outside of turn number 11. It's a 180 degree, as we've described it, right-hand turn, very, very tight, tighter than you'd see on a quarter-mile football field. And when something happens mid-pack like that, it's going to involve a lot of race cars. We have looked at the New Jersey barrier and thought, wow, that's going to be a lot harder to hit, and it is. But Kyle Larson made an interesting observation yesterday. He said, you know, I don't think it's as bad. I think when you get into the tires, a lot of times those tires kind of suck you in, and it can take a minor incident and make it a major incident. He said these barriers, if we just glance off them, unlike the tires that suck you in, you'll be okay as long as you don't hit hard with any of the corners on the race car. So that kind of proved it right there. Nobody hit really hard, either the barrier or any other race car. We'll have to document what damage there may be, but it doesn't appear that anything was significant.
Tough break here for Josh Berry in that 50th anniversary mobile Ford. Beautiful gold paint scheme, spending way too much time on the pit lane. Let's go down to Alan Cabana.
Yeah, very lonely pit road. Now the 4 car just firing up again because it was on here pit road. It took a long time to assess the damage on the right side. Sounds like a lower control arm that's broken on the right rear. Rodney Childers came over the radio and said there's not much we can do about that for the rest of the day. So they came back around to the other side, put 2 new left side tires on, and he's on his way once again. Rick McMillan.
Well, again, Chase Briscoe's come back in. Remember earlier we were talking about how much work they were doing to keep the deck lid, the rear deck lid in place. Well, they went ahead and back to the truck and they got a new rear end of that car. So now the rear deck lid actually has something to be fastened to. So they've got that new rear end on that car. A couple of pit stalls in front of him. Austin Dillon is in. They're doing a bunch of work on the right side of that car, trying to get that body work straightened out. And a couple of pit stalls in front of him. William Byron is in. And they're doing some work on the right side of that car as well. Up under the wheel well, that's where they are doing the work there. They got them on the crash clock, NASCAR does, as they continue to work on that car. Also some work on the front end of that car as well.
William Byron's RaptorTough.com Chevrolet looks like somebody punched it in the nose. He got more damage out of that wreck than we first thought, as he got kind of bounced around like a pinball down there.
Front end damage on that. Don't know how bad it is, but that car was right in the middle of there, getting shoved and pulled around in that melee that was in turn 11 just a moment ago. So a lot of cars got some dings here, Mark. We may not know how badly it affects it until after this plays out for a few more laps.
So again, watching, Barry just kind of bumped into that inside wall before they got to turn 11. He then bumps into Christopher Bell. Bell goes around. Also William Byron, Austin Dillon. Chris Buescher got a little piece of that wreck. Bubba Wallace didn't get hit, but he had to completely stop twice. Michael McDowell rode around it, so did Justin Hanley, Corey LaJoy, Noah Gregson were able to ride around it, but again, Brad Keselowski got turned and bumped a little bit, but he seems okay. And Doug, just before that, Daniel Hemrick, a close call. He went flying off in the dirt in turn 10, and usually when you go off at that kind of speed, you find the fence because you've got no traction at one of the fastest portions of the racetrack, but Hemrick was able to handle that and get it back in the right direction and back on the blacktop.
The average speed is not going to be very sizzling today. We have already ran 15 caution laps, 6 different occasions. The yellow is weighed here in the Toyota Save Mark 350.
Some people just know the more you protect, the more you save with Allstate. Because they know insurance matters. Like if you protect your home and auto, Allstate can save you up to 25%. So it's like losing money if you don't bundle. Save more when you protect more. Bundle home and auto with Allstate today.
Bundled savings vary by state and are not available in every state. Saving up to 25% is the countrywide average of the maximum available savings off the home policy. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Can you handle the smoke? Then Toyota Racing wants you. Not the kind of smoke wafting from the grill on race days. Smells good. Try to smoke from Victory Donuts, drifting less than a hair's width from walls, and blasting off to the tune of 300 miles per hour plus. If the smoke smells inviting, we're looking for you.
37 laps down here. We are under caution flag number 6. We've used up 15 laps under the yellow. Tyler Reddick is the race leader. From Sonoma Raceway, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network. Time to pull down on the handle and start rolling them here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
The green flag flies at the Atlanta Motor Speedway.
We're about to contest the Coca-Cola 600 racing at Texas Motor Speedway.
Now Keselowski goes way up the racetrack.
Here comes Harrison Burton. He rockets to the lead.
Trouble. Car goes around. It's Chris Buescher.
Joe Logano battles to the outside. They come back to the start-finish line.
Bubba Wallace looks inside. And now here's Byron. Takes a quick left to block him. They head back to one.
Here goes Ross Chastain. He's going to the bottom of the racetrack. Bubba goes up. Blaney hits the outside wall off of turn 2. Can Christopher Bell do anything with it? He gets down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Briscoe dives to the bottom of the racetrack. Side by side. They get loose. They spin. Now Tyler Reddick does the 360. So does Briscoe.
Heading into turn number 7 as he wraps it around. The crowd is cheering for Daniel Suarez here on this final lap.
Allmendinger gets into Alex Bowman. Ross Chastain back out to the front for the final time.
This is PRN.
Oh, see what any car's
NASCAR's
doing.
going
Let's
quick
see.
and yellow. It only looks like 2 cars took advantage of it. Todd Gilliland and,
There's
of
a
course,
big car.
Bubba
Oh, and that's
Wallace.
all over.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
So William Byron, they're reporting a broken toe link. They've been able to fix it, but the car will not be right. He'll just be making laps for the rest of the afternoon. Byron now going by the start-finish line. Austin Dillon, we're getting the 1 to go signal now from NASCAR as Jesse Dolivut, the pace car driver for NASCAR today, has the field in tow behind the wheel of that 2025 Toyota Camry XSE.
By the way, Jesse always appreciates the shout-outs that you give him.
He does a great job.
Yeah, thought I'd pass that along. We've got this race is just grinding on. I mean, we've only completed 38 of 110 laps, but when nearly half of what we ran today has been under caution. Very unusual for out here. As we pointed out, last year just 2 yellow flags. We're already at 6.
Again, we mentioned in our pre-race show, Doug, that Michael McDowell predicted we would have more cautions today because of the increased speed. So even though there's more grip and there's more control in a lot of ways, that increased speeds put guys right on the razor's edge. And boy, he hit it just right. It made go in the garage area and say, do you have any numbers for the lottery?
He's rather Nostradamus-like today in his predictions here is Michael McDowell. Let's give you the top 10 one more time here again. It's going to be Tyler Reddick and Kyle Larson. Row 2 will be Ryan Blaney and Todd Gilliland. Row 3, Ross Chastain, Chase Elliott. Row 4, Alex Bowman, Daniel Suarez. And row 5, rounding out the top 10, Eric Jones and Martin Truex Jr. As we get ready to crank them up again here on lap 39 as the field is just about ready, Mark Arrow, to enter that Geico restart zone.
They'll do it with 16 laps to go here in stage number 2 of the Toyota Save Mart 350. So glad you could join us here again on PRN. Tyler Reddick has now led 21 laps and counting. A new challenger, though, on this restart. Kyle Larson moved from 4th to 2nd. The last time the green flag came out, will he be able to take the lead? Green flag is out. Reddick gets a big jump. He might have caught Larson napping just a bit. Larson now side by side with Ryan Blaney as they battle for second, going to turn number 2.
This Sunday afternoon, no time for a snooze there. The intensity ramped up as they sat under yellow for so long. They exit turn 2. Reddick with an authoritative lead there. Kyle Larson in second. Great 2-wide battle for third. Ryan Blaney on the inside. Ross Chastain to the outside as they crest the hill in 3A.
Might have a challenge for the lead here as Kyle Larson right on the back bumper of Tyler Reddick in 4A. It's a right-hand corner. They go down the hill to the short chute. Reddick now able to pull away, but the battle is for third. Ross Chastain making the most out of every restart. He drives to the quarter panel of Ryan Blaney. Not able to make it happen this time as they go to the S.
Chastain, though, right on the back bumper of Blaney again as they go left, right, left through the S's. They swish through there. Heading downhill at Sonoma Raceway, Reddick continues to lead.
Problems on the racetrack. Noah Gregson gets off course. Also, Michael McDowell. Brad, I think that's going to be up in turn 8.
Yeah, right there to the S's. Cars get really light, and if you get off into the grass, there's nowhere to go. Everything is going to slip and slide. Enough to bring a caution out on this one, as I see one of the AMR safety trucks and one of the Toyota Tundra fire crew trucks heading out onto the track right now.
Austin Cindric involved, Michael McDowell, Will Brown, it looks, got a piece of that as well. We're seeing another car slowly making its way down. Noah Gregson involved in that situation as well, as they all got off into the dirt. Now they're back onto the blacktop.
Oh, he got 62%.
That's crash in
No,
turn
there's no
8.
way
Mark,
he's gonna
that's
make
two
it all the
places
way.
today. I
If
think
he
this
getting
is
the questions.
directly a result of the speed that these cars are carrying. We normally don't see accidents up in the S's. It's usually 11 and turn 7 where things get loose. This is the second time today in that general part of the racetrack we've had a lot going on.
Somebody got into the back of Noah Gregson, turned him, then he clipped Austin Cindric, and then Michael McDowell with no place to go. He went off the racetrack. So you had Gregson's car pointed in the right direction, McDowell's pointed the wrong way, both of them in the dirt up against the tire barrier, but again, they were both able to drive away.
As a result of this, we're seeing a lot of track workers up in that turn 8 area working on the tire barrier. They've got to bind all that back together and stitch that tire barrier back together before we can go racing again, as this is caution flag number 7.
Just go ahead and...
Forklift and some other fairly heavy-looking machinery headed up that way to try to piece this back together. We've used up a lot of time under the yellow here early on.
Holy smokes, man. This race, we thought we'd see a few more yellow flags, but again, as you mentioned, we mentioned earlier in the event, a year ago, we're already up to 7.
Let's see how...
And we haven't
that's
even reached the
perfect.
halfway mark of this event. And we haven't even reached that time of the race when things start to get serious and the drivers are all taking no give. So, again, yellows beget yellows, and who knows what we're facing here this afternoon. This thing could really turn upside down. And it turns the strategy upside down. A lot of these guys up front, Tyler Reddick, who has the lead, did not hit at the end.
26 is in the lead in IndyCar. Let's go back to NASCAR.
And all these laps under yellow allow them to stretch their Sunoco fuel even more and more, and that changes the strategy almost by the lap.
And you don't know what the exact formula is, and we don't always know about fuel mileage. All you got to do is ask Ryan Blaney about how it ended up last week for him. There's about 15 track workers up in that section trying to push these tire barriers back together and get them stitched back together, because you don't want to burn up any more time than you have to with track repair.
Well, let's go down now to O'Reilly Auto Parts pit reporter Alan Cabana.
And just a tough day for last week's winner, Austin Cindric. He started this race in 28th and actually drove his way all the way to 14th. It looked like strategy, track position, all that stuff was going to be on his side. But since then, he's been off track twice. He was involved.
Guys, guess what? I got a Tony Stewart's autograph. Rookie core, 124 skill. Look at this thing. It's autographed.
Not here in pit road, so we're trying to wait for him. His team is waiting for him. They'll have to assess the damage and try to salvage what they can for this day. Once he gets here, they can make a fix.
And I can tell you right now, your pace car driver, Jesse Dolaboo, Mark, he is doing what they call dragging his feet. They are not running the pace car speed. They're trying not to use up all that many laps under the yellow while they affect the repairs on the track.
They might have to also get some ice for the right shoulder of NASCAR starter Shannon Bednarik. I mean, she has been waving that yellow flag a lot. 7 times already today before we even get to halfway.
Well, here's the other thing, folks, that we've noticed over the years when you watch these kind of races where you have a lot of hiccups and a lot of yellows, you don't know who's got what at this junction of the race, because they've not raced at any one stretch long enough to know exactly who's really good and who's not. I think the longest green flag run we had today was 10 laps. That's not a lot.
No, it's not. And again, I can't emphasize enough how all these laps under yellow keep changing strategies, because we have seen Tyler Reddick, Larson, Blaney, Chastain, Bowman, they have not hit it at the end of stage 1. So the tire wear they're getting on these new
They also got a Jeff Burton sign, as you can see right there.
To take care of some of the heat that you get from a new asphalt. So these tires are holding up really, really well. So this may come down to a fuel mileage kind of deal, and you can bet not only these teams are calculating it on pit road, but each one of these top teams have a war room, and they're burning up their computers right now trying to make sure they've got the best strategy at the end when it comes to fuel mileage, because it appears that we've got tires that will give you a long run.
And the good news is, but we don't know because we only had a 10-lap green flag run. The good news is all the track workers that were in that section of the speedway have packed up now and they've headed back to the barn. So it looks like maybe another half lap or so and we should be back to racing. Actually, Mark, it looks like the caution light's off on the pace car, which would indicate we'll turn them loose next time by.
Doug, we've run 41 laps in this race. 18 have been under yellow. That is just a equation that I didn't think we'd see today. I thought we'd see more yellow flags, but nothing like that.
So the field will queue up and they'll choose this time by and turn them loose once again. Rob, let's see if we can get in a couple of laps of green flag racing here.
You know, we want to run green, but this has been extremely entertaining. A lot of ebbs and flows very early in this race, and I think it's going to continue that way through the balance of the event. Tyler Reddick, when you're out front, you're less likely to get involved in something. So he and Kyle Larson in a great position. The second row consists of Ryan Blaney, along with the machine of Ross Chastain behind them, Alex Bowman, and Daniel Suarez. As we're getting ready to come to green, that's the front three rows. The Toyota Camry XSE 2025 version will turn right and get off the racetrack and put it back into the hands of Tyler Reddick. Got the restart zone coming up.
The 7 yellows have just about worn out the restart zone. Green flag in the air. Once again, a really nice jump on the outside from Tyler Reddick. He cuts the nose off of Kyle Larson, and Reddick will lead him up to the top of the hill in turn 2.
That's been the MO of leaders today. Get single file out front as soon as you get to 2. Reddick does it again with Kyle Larson in tow. Then it's a 2-wide battle for third. Ross
I'm in a
Chastain
hospital.
gets around Ryan Blaney and shuffles into that third spot. And Suarez and Bowman are behind Blaney. Some contact behind them.
A Toyota now leading 2 Chevys and a Ford. Tyler Reddick is leading. Right now on his back bumper is Kyle Larson, but the battle back behind them, and it's for 5th. Daniel Suarez and Alex Bowman knocking doors as they head down the short chute. Alex Bowman the advantage in turn number 7. Suarez now the advantage as they head to the S's.
Bowman and Suarez keep that up. Bowman will take that spot away from Daniel Suarez as they swing down through the S's. It's Tyler Reddick on point. 1 car length back, Kyle Larson. 5 back to Ross Chastain. 5 more back to Blaney. Then it's Alex Bowman, Suarez, Chase Elliott in that order as they roar back to 11.
And a very close battle for the race lead. Tyler Reddick occupies that spot, but Kyle Larson really beginning to put on the heat, trying to force a mistake, which may or may not be forthcoming. 3 car lengths the advantage for Reddick.
12 laps to go in stage number 2. Reddick got a good exit of turn 11. He's got a gap on Larson. Larson 3 car lengths up on Ross Chastain, who started 9th, now running 3rd.
Yeah, he's recoiled the big comeback. The top 9, 10, 11 cars are single file. And Martin Truex Jr. included those after some earlier trouble in the race there. As Tyler Reddick, the leader, goes to turn 3A with a 2-car length lead.
Tyler Reddick and Kyle Larson running in 2nd, starting to pull away ever so slightly from Ross Chastain in 3rd. They head into turn number 4A, down the short chute, down to turn number 7. Reddick able to actually put a little bit of a gap on Kyle Larson. Now the advantage 3 car lengths. Reddick, though, locks it up a little into turn number 7. That allows Larson to close.
As they work their way down through the S's, again about 2 car lengths between the top 2 cars, Tyler Reddick and Larson. 4 back to Chastain, then it's Blaney, then it's Bowman. Suarez now just ahead of Chase Elliott.
There are no big gaps between any among the top 10, but also nobody really threatening to take a position away. That being said, Kyle Larson gets very deep into turn number 11. Hard on the binders, didn't lock them up, but he was very, very close to putting a bumper, actually to the rear bumper of the machine of Tyler Reddick.
I think the combatants might want to just log a few green flag laps here. It's Reddick, then Larson next in line. Ross Chastain's running a pretty good race right now. Doug Turnbull's in 3rd.
He does, yeah. He has 4 top 10s here at Sonoma as he goes deep to the inside of turn number 2. Ryan Blaney tried to catch him, but slipped his tires a bit, exiting turn number 2. So Chastain, who took that spot away from Blaney with a little contact, Blaney seems to have a little bit of steam under the hood there.
Looking at this battle, Ryan Blaney might want to check that rear view camera because Alex Bowman's coming on strong. Alex Bowman making up ground here, running in that 5th spot as they head down the short chute toward turn number 7. Right behind Bowman is Daniel Suarez. Chase Elliott wants to charge in pretty hard to turn number 7. He'll ride his back bumper now into the S's.
To make the slalom run down through the S's. It's going to be Reddick and Larson. It's a little ways back, maybe 15 car lengths till you get to Chastain. Then it's Blaney and Alex Bowman. Those front five have been running in that order for the last few laps. Looking at a guy that has rallied a little bit from earlier problems today, Martin Truex Jr.'s fought his way back up to 11. Leaders are in 11.
As we watch the leaders come through turn 11, pretty quiet up front. The advantage for the top two has grown to about 10 car lengths. So the third place, Ross Chastain, and Blaney begins to close on him one more time.
As they work their way across the stripe, 10 to go now in stage number 2. Tyler Reddick has led 28 laps and counting.
And he exits turn number 2 just a little bit wide. The winner of stage 1 was Tyler Reddick there. Kyle Larson trying to keep him honest, but it's about 3 car lengths in between them. They're through this really finesse section of the track, turns 3 and 3A, with Reddick still pulling ahead.
Tyler Reddick has a little breathing room now in front of the hometown driver of Kyle Larson, but again, you got a pretty hard battle now for that third spot. Ross Chastain has it, Blaney wants it. Alex Bowman wants to be a part of this as well. As they wrap around the median in turn number 7, they make that left-hand corner and they head down the hill.
As they work their way down through the S's, Reddick now easing away from Larson. Chastain, though, is losing ground to not only Larson, but as he looks in his rearview mirror, Blaney now looming larger as Alex Bowman closes in as well.
As I watch the field file past my position here in turn number 11 the last time, it reminded me of post-race at Martinsville. Very few cars without significant damage. As I say that, Brian Blaney will try to take that third spot away. Chastain's put a little bit of rubber to it. Now Blaney returning the favor, and they're right together.
Now they'll flash across start-finish line. Chastain will hang on to third. We have 9 laps to go here in stage 2. Your top 10 look like this. Tyler Reddick, Larson, Chastain, Blaney, and Bowman. Then it's Suarez, Chase Elliott, Chris Buescher, Ryan Preece, and Kyle Busch.
When it comes to maintaining your engine to run at peak performance, trust Z-Max Micro Lubricant. Z-Max soaks into metal, and it's so easy to add to your oil or gas to disperse carbon buildup in your engine, fuel system, and transmission. Protect your vehicle's engine to the max with Z-Max. Check us out at zmax.com or visit us on Facebook and Twitter to find out more about our full line of products. Z-Max for your car, big rigs, small engines, firearms, and more. That's Z-Max Micro Lubricant, available at your favorite auto parts store.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Changing third, Ryan Blaney scooted around Ross Chastain. He's up to third. Chastain is fourth. Fifth, this Alex Bowman. WeatherGuard is the proud sponsor of today's WeatherGuard work crew. When it comes to race day, nobody is more driven than the safety and ops teams keeping the track running like a well-oiled machine. We saw a great example of that today. And when it comes to Pro Focus truck and van equipment, nobody is more driven than the folks at WeatherGuard. Learn more at weatherguard.com. We have 8 laps to go here in stage 2. Tyler Reddick continues to lead. From Sonoma Raceway, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Hi, it's PRN's Brad Gilley. Did you know you can take PRN with you anywhere? That's right. By downloading the PRN mobile app, you can listen to our live race broadcast from anywhere. Make sure you don't miss a second of the action from the track. Download today for station listings and on-demand access to your favorite studio shows like Fast Talk, Pit Reporters, or Garage Pass. Get all the latest racing information at your fingertips with the PRN mobile app. Available in the Apple App Store and on Google Play.
Hey, I'm Corley Joy for Speedway Children's Charities. The mission for Speedway Children's Charities has remained true since its founding almost 40 years ago. To care for children in educational, financial, social, and medical needs in order to help them lead happy and productive lives. So many children have benefited from our group in the past, but we need your help now more than ever. There's so much we can do when we all join together, so let's start today. Visit speedwaycharities.org to learn more. I thank you in advance for your help.
62 laps to go in the race, 7 left to go here in stage 2. And for the first time today, Mark Arrow, we've seen somebody actually pull away from the field. Tyler Reddick last time by had a delta of almost 2 seconds over Kyle Larson.
The longer we go under green, the better Tyler Reddick and that Toyota looks. And again, remember, Toyota is the sponsor of this race. They've won 6 of the last 11. Reddick's trying to make it 7 for 12.
They're down at turn 11 right now.
Tyler Reddick gets better and better on road courses. Surprisingly, in 3 starts, his best here at Sonoma, a 19. And he's sure trying to improve on that today.
So with 7 to go here, let's give you a full field rundown. And Tyler Reddick is the race leader by 2 seconds now over Kyle Larson. Ryan Blaney is 3rd, 4th to Ross Chastain, 5th is Alex Bowman. Daniel Suarez is 6th, Chase Elliott 7th, 8th is Chris Buescher, Ryan Preece is 9th, and 10th is Kyle Busch.
Martin Truex Jr. has battled back to 11th, 12th A.J. Allmendinger, Zane Smith 13th, 14th is Brad Keselowski, improving 23 positions from the start. Eric Jones is 15th, 16th Todd Gilliland, Joey Logano back to 17th, 18th Harrison Burton, 19th Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Daniel Hemrick in 20th.
Dustin Haley 21st, Carson Hocevar 22nd, 23rd, Christopher Bell, Chase Briscoe is 24th, 25th is Corey LaJoie, Cam Waters is 26th, Michael McDowell 27th, Bubba Wallace 28th, Noah Gregson 29th, Kaz Gralla rides 30th.
Josh Berry 31st, 32nd Austin Cindric, William Byron with his wounded car running 33rd but on the lead lap, John Hunter Nemechek 34th. Will Brown in that RCR car is -4 and 35th. Austin Dillon is out of the event. He'll be scored 36th today. 37th, Ty Gibbs. If you missed it, just after 2 laps today, Denny Hamlin had an engine let go, and for the 2nd year in a row, he'll finish last, this time 38th position.
That full field rundown presented to you by RaceDayNFT.com. Are you a true racing fan? Of course you are. Do you like adding those little die-cast cars at race weekend hats? Yes, you do. Then the race is over to RaceDayNFT.com and sign up for free to get the best collectibles delivered right to your door.
Doug, we are high atop this racetrack looking over about 10 to 15 pit stalls, and these guys now are jumping up and down. They're starting to stretch. We're expecting pit stops just before the end of this 2nd stage, which the next time by will be only 4 laps to go. So we'll have to keep an eye on Tyler Reddick, Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney. Remember, these cars did not hit at the end of stage number 1.
So we'll see who decides to come in. They have the option of coming in the next time by, but then once you get within 2 laps, they'll shut down pit road, and that option disappears from you. Tyler Reddick, for the first time today, is a car really taking command. We do have Ryan Blaney as a taker on the pit lane, so Blaney is definitely going to short pit. It is number 12, Menard's machine. Takes a long time to make it down this pit road here in Sonoma. Let's go to Cabana.
Chase Elliott on pit road now here in the 2nd stage. No complaints about the car, and he liked the stability and everything when he lost positions there as that run went on. So we're going to try to work on the long run when he was reading.
Ryan Blaney decides to also hit pit road, but they are stopping him to pack it full of fuel. They held him an extra 3 seconds to pack it full of fuel after they had the 4 tires changed on his car. Brett McMillan.
4 tires for Daniel Suarez, also an air pressure adjustment. Once more rear grip. He heads back out after a 12-second stop.
So Chase Elliott barely beats Suarez out of pit lane. Blaney beats those 2. And I can see why after last week's Blaney's crews made double sure we get all the gas.
It looked like everyone was staying an extra tick on pit lane, because the last thing you want to do is run out of gas here on this road course. If you do that in the right spot, you're going to be done for. We're looking now, looks like Kyle Larson will dive onto the pit lane, so he's another one that's going to option to short pit here and not take the stage break, which is coming up in just 4 more laps. Tyler Reddick continues to stay out on the racetrack with 3 laps to go. Back to Alex Bowman.
Alex Bowman is in. He's the first car down there on pit road. He says he needed more overall grip all around the race course on this new pavement, but he says that it got better as the run went on from McMillan.
Kyle Larson is here. He's been happy with the car. No adjustments at all. He's getting a 4-tire change, full tank of Sunoco fuel, finishing up, packing it full of fuel, holding it here for that 13.5 seconds. Meanwhile, Ross Chastain also happy with his car. He also gets a 4-tire change and a full tank of Sunoco fuel.
Zane Smith also also pitting for fuel here. He is still on the lead lap. Alex Bowman at 40 miles per hour making his way down the pit lane. He's now getting up through the gearbox and back up to speed.
Really going to see the running order shuffled big time here when we get to stage one. Tyler Reddick eases all by himself. He's got like a half-mile cushion in both directions right now as he rolls through turn 10. And we'll see, does he option to go on pit road? The answer is yes. Tyler Reddick brings that Monster Energy Toyota to the pit lane, and this is a Keys pit stop as he'd already carved out a 10-second advantage on the racetrack, but now decides to bring it in before we get to the stage 2 break here as we wait for Reddick to approach his pit crew. Tyler Reddick on the pit lane. Let's go down to Alan Cabana.
Yeah, Tyler Reddick is in after the biggest lead he's had all day. The pit stop's over, but they're waiting on fuel. He is on and off. No problems for Tyler Reddick.
So this turns the lead over to Chris Buescher with 2 laps to go in stage 2, followed by Ryan Priest, Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch. They're on the top of the course.
And they're in turn number 3 right now. Buescher, who has good road course acumen, is taking it out of turn 3A. And how about Ryan Priest in second? Best run he's had in a while with this pit strategy.
Chris Buescher, 2 top 5s in the next-gen era here at Sonoma Raceway. The Texan bringing his car down through the short chute into turn number 7, being chased by Ryan Priest. Mark Truex Jr. now running behind this group, and they'll head down the hill into the S.
Don't know how this will play out, but Reddick is now in a fierce battle with Kyle Larson. They came off pit road nearly together as Larson had made the pit stop the lap before. He has now gotten by Tyler Reddick, and Reddick will not let him go. They're heading to turn number 7.
And Kyle Larson got that advantage right there. Ross Chastain also got around Tyler Reddick, so Kyle Larson moves in front of this fight. The 3 cars are now going to head down the hill toward the S's.
So again, to determine how they line up after we get to the end of stage 2 here.
Again, track position, right? So Larson now has it, and Chastain has it over Tyler Reddick. And again, they pitted earlier. They have 1 or 2 more laps on fresh tires. That appears to be the difference.
1 lap to go in this stage. Doug Turnbull, let's pick up the actual leaders.
And it's the leader, Chris Buescher, up there, and just about a 7-car length advantage over Ryan Priest. A fierce battle for Martin Truex Jr. Ryan Priest trying to get the 3rd spot. 4th is Kyle Busch, and 5th is A.J. Allmendinger.
Mark Truex Jr. in a heavy points battle here in the regular season, running in 3rd right now behind Ryan Priest. Chris Buescher has a comfortable lead as they go through the short chute down toward turn number 7. So it's Chris Buescher, Ryan Priest, Mark Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, and then A.J. Allmendinger.
Chris Buescher hoping to inherit a playoff point here as he eases down through the S's. He doesn't have an insurmountable lead right now, but he's fairly comfortable as he comes down into turn 10. Ryan Priest in 2nd, Truex is 3rd, then it's going to be Kyle Busch and A.J. Allmendinger making up the top 5 as they ease through turn 10 and down to 11.
Chris Buescher, a pretty low-key guy, but he's definitely disappointed in the way 2024 has gone thus far. He's going to get a playoff point, it will look like, right behind them. Great fight for the 2nd position. Right now, it is Priest, and he's just really being hounded by Truex.
So Chris Buescher will win his 2nd stage of the season as he wins stage number 2 of the Toyota Safe Mart 350. Ryan Priest holds on to the 2nd spot. Martin Truex Jr. will finish 3rd. Kyle Busch 4th. 5th, A.J. Allmendinger. Brad Keselowski will get some points out of the 2nd stage. He finishes 6th. 7th is Eric Jones. 8th, Todd Gilliland. 9th is going to be Joey Logano. And 10th at the end of stage number 2 is going to be Harrison Burton.
With Wendy's new $3 English muffin deal, you can get your choice of a sausage or bacon, egg, and cheese English muffin with small seasoned potatoes.
And with all that for just $3, it really is a proper breakfast, wouldn't you say? Huh? With a light and fluffy toasted English muffin, crispy seasoned potatoes. Go on, Catherine, give it a go.
Okay. Jolly good morning.
Ah, close enough. Grab a proper breakfast with Wendy's new $3 English muffin deal for a limited time.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Select or request English muffin deal to obtain discount. Not valid for a la carte or combo orders. Single item at regular price. Prices are higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted it close to town, with a picture window overlooking a yard. And you found it. Now, when you sit down to dinner, you've got front row seats too. Your neighbor's daily pickleball game. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
So we have reached the end of the second stage in the Toyota Save Mart 350 here from Sonoma Raceway in beautiful Northern California. Tyler Reddick wins stage 1, stage 2, again to Chris Buescher. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Dale Earnhardt, he's almost been deified. There's a mystique about him that's never been attached to any other driver, including your dad.
I think there's two things for Dale Earnhardt that make him who he is. He was that guy that's your neighbor. I don't care if you live in a mobile home. I don't care if you live in a mansion. He's that guy that was your neighbor. He's the guy that was out in his yard planting his plants. He's the guy that was out there mowing. He's the guy that was out there doing it. He's the guy that drove the truck. He's the guy that got up under the car and changed the gear. He's the guy that put on a uniform and jumped in that car and became your hero on a Sunday afternoon. And you could identify with that. He's really that last guy. And he is, in the words of Tom Wolfe, last great American hero, the book that was written about Junior Johnson. He is that last guy to a lot of people. And he was going to have that following no matter what. It moved to a different level because of what happened at Daytona. Billy Joel, only the good die young. And that's the way you remember. So I think that moves you to a different place too.
Welcome back to Sonoma Raceway in this broadcast here on PRN. Don't forget, we're back on the air. Not that long. We're back at New Hampshire Motor Speedway after a break with MRN doing, of course, Iowa. We're back on the air at New Hampshire. We've got Cup Series in practice qualifying 12:30 Eastern on Saturday, the 22nd of June. Then it is the SciAps 200 for the Xfinity Series, 3 o'clock the same day. And then on Sunday on the Magic Mile, it is the USA Today 3:01. Our airtime is 1:30 Eastern. By the way, get your tickets now for New Hampshire, man. Should be a great show.
And also Nashville Super Speedway coming up the week after that, down to Alan Cabana.
Well, Tyler Reddick has an issue. Whether it's a big issue or a small issue, that's what the team and driver are trying to figure out right now. There's a little damage to the right front fender. Some of the Goodyear's rubbed off that tire. But is it bad? Is it flat spotted? That's what the crew are going back and forth now, looking at it via pictures, trying to get feedback from Tyler Reddick. The crew is ready if they need to make a tire change. They're not at that point yet. But again, the discussion right now ongoing for our leader for much of this race, Tyler Reddick, to see if they have any damage they need to fix.
I will see how all of that plays out. Back out into the maelstrom now is going to be Will Brown. He had some adventures earlier today, but he is back on track now. He is -4 laps back there in the 35th spot. And Mark just told me he'll be 3 laps down because he will get the wave around this time by. And what has been an action-packed, not so typical Sonoma Toyota Save Mart 350.
Instead of a finesse, we've got ourselves a rock'em sock'em robot race going on right now. And again, all kinds of different strategies at play. And no telling how this is all going to play out until we get to the very end of this race. And everybody has made that final pit
There's
stop.
no finesse today. They're making omelet. They're cracking a lot of eggs out there today, Mark. That is for absolute sure. And the field, it's been a very physical race. Let's check in now with Wendy Venturini.
A little strategy once again. They're going to top off for Ryan Blaney's car down pit road. They were last here at lap 51. Strategies and always getting that last little bit of fuel for Ryan Blaney.
All right, thanks a lot, Wendy Venturini there with the update. One of our 3 O'Reilly Auto Parts pit reporters bringing us some great intel from the pit road here today at Sonoma Raceway as we're not even halfway. Well, we're just a little bit past halfway. 53 laps to go here right now, and it's going to be Chris Buescher, who was leader at the end of stage 2, remaining the lead. Let's go to the top of the box with Weatherguard, the most driven name in truck boxes, with Brett McMillan.
I'm here at Phil Surgeon, crew chief for Ross Chastain. How tough has it been to get a beat on things today as all the starts and stops of this thing?
Yeah, really tough. Obviously, I haven't run that many green flag laps and hardly any consecutively, so hard to get a read on the car, and obviously it's thrown a huge wrench in the strategy, so have to see what happens, but car's been driving good. It's got a lot of speed in, so looking forward to it.
Do you ever imagine going 52 laps without a pit stop in this thing?
Oh, I know. That's crazy. It's no.
All right, you got a good guy. You know that he can win on the road courses. You're pretty confident at this point?
Yeah, we're feeling good about it. We're going to need a little bit of luck on our side with the strategy side of things to dig ourselves out of this hole, but I feel good about him and the car.
Good luck rest of the way.
Thank you.
That's Phil Surgeon. He is the crew chief for Ross Chastain.
All right, thanks a lot there, Brett McBill. And of course, Chastain trying to win for a second time on a road course. That's our weather guard, top of the box. Race fans know that there's no letting up, even when you're leading the field. And the front runner and truck boxes knows this too. So when it comes to durability, security, and innovation, the folks at WeatherGuard aren't taking their foot off the gas anytime soon. You can learn more at weatherguard.com.
And we are learning the strategies are upside down in this race today. And again, after this second stage, won by Chris Buescher, normally you'd go like, oh, they're heading down pit road. They've got to get tires. They have to get tires. Not this year. New asphalt, new tire brought by Goodyear is holding up. And Doug, now Buescher, Priest, these guys now gained that track position. They're not giving it away here, at least for the next few laps.
Well, you're done with stages, so you have to make that one more pit stop. We'll see how all of this plays out here the rest of this race as the field comes by start-finish line. Let's go ahead and take you through the field one more time before we go back to green.
So let's give you this leaderboard update. Chris Buescher is your leader, and this leaderboard update brought to you by the great folks at Hunt Brothers Pizza. Ryan Priest is second, third, Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch fourth, fifth, A.J. Allmendinger, sixth is Brad Keselowski, Eric Jones seventh, eighth, Todd Gilliland, Joey Logano has fought his way back to 9th, 10th, Harrison Burton.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is 11th, 12th, Daniel Hemmer, Justin Haley 13th, 14th, Carson Hocevar, Christopher Bell is 15th, 16th is Michael McDowell, Chase Briscoe is 17th, Corey LaJoie rides 18th, Bubba Wallace is 19th, and Noah Gregson is 20th.
21st is Austin Cindric, Kyle Larson 22nd, 23rd, Ross Chastain, Tyler Reddick, who won the opening stage, has led 35 laps, is now in the 24th spot. 25th, Chase Elliott, Daniel Suarez 26th, Alex Bowman 27th, Zane Smith 28th, Ryan Blaney 29th, and 30th is Kaz Gralla.
31st is Josh Berry, John Hunter Nemechek 32nd, William Byron 33rd. He's got a damaged race car. Cam Waters is 34th, Will Brown is 35th. Austin Dillon rides 36th. He is out of the event, as is Ty Gibbs and Denny Hamlin.
Again, that leaderboard brought to you by Hunt Brothers Pizza, where we love racing and we love pizza. Find your next pizza at huntbrotherspizza.com or download the Hunt Brothers Pizza app.
Bill tucked in behind that Toyota Camry XSE pace car, and the lights are off, and that means we're going to go racing for our third and final stage. There will be 51 laps to go when they retake the green flag. We have already had 8 cautions in the first 58.
4 leaders, 4 lead changes, 8 cautions for 21 laps. Tyler Reddick has led 35 circuits. Joey Logano 16. Chris Buescher out front 6 and counting. Ryan Blaney has led a lap. The man who's made up the most spots so far this afternoon, Eric Jones plus 31. Brad Keselowski plus 29. They're in front of Rob Albright.
Wow, different complexion up front. Of course, Chris Buescher, who will lead them back to the green, has a runner-up finish on his resume here in Sonoma. So he'll lead them. Ryan Priest has run well as well. Martin Truex 4 wins, but he's had to do it the tough way to get back into the top 5. Kyle Busch an up and down day. A.J. Allmendinger is in the mix. Restarting in the 6th position will be Brad Keselowski, and then it is Eric Jones along with Todd Gilliland. The field is coming toward the restart lane into turn number 12.
Curious to see if A.J. Allmendinger can flex a little bit of his road course prowess on this restart. On the restart, on the outside, it looks like Chris Buescher gets the advantage as the flock heads up the field.
Excellent restart for Buescher there. He gets away from Truex and Priest, who are 2 wide for the second spot at turn number 2. Buescher's going to lead Truex, but Truex has a hot rod. He's pulling away from Priest. Now they're hard on the brakes in turn 3. They're downshifting a little bit. Priest gives a tap to Truex, but Buescher gets away with the lead.
Chris Buescher now pulling away from Martin Truex Jr. as they start down the hill, turn 4A, the right-hander. Now the short sheet to turn number 7. Martin Truex Jr. under heavy assault right now from Ryan Priest, but the battle is for 4. Kyle Busch tries to drive to the outside of the right-hander on A.J. Allmendinger. He'll have none of it. Allmendinger heads on to that spot.
Kyle Busch right now holds that position. Here we go back in turn 9, and it's going to be Chris Buescher on the point. 6 car lengths back. Martin Truex Jr. riding in a strong run today in the 3rd spot will be Ryan Priest. 4th, it looks like it's going to be A.J. Allmendinger as he hopped around and got it past Kyle Busch.
Aerodynamics not as critical here as it is in some racetracks. The race leader, and that is the Chris Buescher machine. Got a little bit of tape on the front end of his car, but it is fast indeed. Truex second, third, the
go in the Toyota Safe Mart 350. Busher pulling away from Martin Truex Jr. Great battle a little farther back. Stenhouse is getting into it with Michael McDowell is back there fighting for it, along with Daniel Hemrick and Harrison Burke.
And McDowell's come from the back after crashing earlier. He has a hot rod. In front of them, Brad Keselowski in the 8th position gets heavy heat from not only Todd Gilliland, but how about Joey Logano's wounded car attempt?
The pole sitter of Joey Logano working his way down the hill right now toward turn number 7, that Auto Trader car. Boy, he is right on the back bumper of Todd Gilliland. Up in front of them, battle for second. Ryan Preece trying to get around Martin Truex Jr. He will spin at turn number 7, lose a lot of ground, gets his car collected, pulls right in front of the field as they go down to the S's.
He falls from the second spot down to about 17th as Martin Truex Jr. now has that second spot. Right behind him, though, is A.J. Allmendinger, Kyle Busch, Eric Jones. Those 4 cars nose to tail heading for turn number 11.
Not sure what's going on with Martin Truex Jr. He is in that second position and he's falling farther and farther behind race leader Chris Buescher. As they come off turn number 11, it's about 20 car lengths his deficit. Right on Truex's back bumper is Allmendinger.
Chris Buescher all by his lonesome. Then it's going to be Truex looking for A.J. Allmendinger. Let's see if he wants to make a charge on Martin Truex Jr. up in turn 2.
Up the hill they go. Truex has second spot and exits wider than Allmendinger, who looks a little bit to the inside there, but Allmendinger biding his time with Kyle Busch splashing neon colors right behind them. They go for 3 and 3A up the hill. Truex still in second.
Chris Buescher has enough of a lead right now. He can save his equipment just a little bit, but again, right behind them, boy, it is a swarm. Martin Truex Jr. in second, then it's A.J. Allmendinger. Kyle Busch car has appeared to come to life right now. He drives to the back bumper of A.J. Allmendinger in the right-hander of turn 7. Now they go left into the S's.
Down through the S's once again. Chris Buescher all by himself. He's in the lonely spot. Martin Truex Jr. maintaining that second spot. Third, A.J. Allmendinger hanging on there tight. And Kyle Busch, for the first time today, Mark, looks like he's showing a little moxie.
He sure is, and I'm watching Kyle Larson now charge the field. Larson has gotten by here in this last lap. Ryan Preece, Harrison Burton, as he's moved up another couple of spots. And Doug, the big thing here at this point is the fact he has left those cars he pitted with. They were running up front, the Tyler Redditts, the Chase Elliott's, the Suarez. Chastain has been able to hang with him. Chastain only 2 car lengths back, but those 2 cars, led by Larson, have quickly made it to the pack, while Elliott and the other cars, Reddick, has struggled just a bit along with Alex Bowman.
Chris Buescher on the point right now, almost a 2-second advantage. 48 laps to go as we're now into stage 3.
Trouble in turn number 2. Harrison Burke gets hooked by Chase Elliott. It was just pictured a moment ago. He gets back and away under power. We stay green, but Burke to restart at 10th is all the way in the back now.
As the field now moves through turn number 4, Michael McDowell made a big move to get around Justin Haley. McDowell now is looking on the back bumper of Joey Logano. They're going to head through turn number 7. They'll continue down the hill toward you guys.
As they work their way down the hill, again, big gap. Chris Buescher back to Martin Truex Jr., but right there with him, Allmendinger, Busch. And what can you say about Eric Jones, Doug? He started dead last in 38th today and worked his way up to 5th.
Ran a smart race right now. He's in 5th behind Kyle Busch, running a little bit ahead of Brad Keselowski. Will pick up Jones the next time he flashes by the start and finish line. Pretty good battle going. There goes Buescher. He's got the lead. Then it's Truex, A.J. Allmendinger, Kyle Busch, Eric Jones. Not all that far off of Eric Jones. Brad Keselowski's rallied a little bit today, Doug Turnbull.
He certainly has. Started at about the 35th spot. Has struggled on road courses in the next gen era, but Keselowski on pit strategy has pancaked himself up, flip-flop back into the lead. Good battle now for that second position again. A.J. Allmendinger has fought Martin Truex Jr. down the hill to 3, Brad.
As they make it to toward turn 4A, Martin Truex Jr. still with that second place spot, about a car length in front of A.J. Allmendinger. Truex goes to block. Allmendinger peeks to his inside to let him know he's there. Not going to be enough this time through turn number 7 as they head back down the hill.
All right, let's get a Sunoco fuel strategy update now as we check in with Brett McMillan.
Well, right now, the pit strategy is kind of all over the place right now, Doug, because you think about this. We know everybody's going to have to stop one more time, but because of all the cautions, we saw guys like Suarez and Larson and Chastain and Reddick. They went 52 laps. That's unheard of here at Sonoma. They're not going to go 52 laps again unless we have another rash of cautions like we had. But what that has done is that's given these guys options. Normally, the good sniffs. The expertise says the first guy to pit last is going to be in the best position. But think about this. The guys who made it 52 laps went a lot further than the other guys. That means when they stop, if they decide to short pit, when they stop, they'll need less time in the pit box to fill their cars. If they decide to run the full length of their fuel stop, then they're only going to need maybe 2 tires or 4 tires, and they shouldn't need a long stop because they won't need to fill up their cars. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out the rest of the way.
We have seen so much of that strategy this year, from fueling your favorite NASCAR teams to filling up the pump. Sunoco is trusted to help vehicles perform at their peak. Sunoco, performance is what we do. But Mark Arrow, one of the reasons they were able to go, the reason they were able to go so long is the huge number of cautions that we had. We had 8 cautions for 22 laps. We're not going to have that again.
We shouldn't, but you never know. As we look on the racetrack right now, Kyle Larson is trying to fight his way past Carson Hocevar, Daniel Hemrick, Justin Haley, as he tries to make his way back to the front. He's 13th and in turn 11.
Brakes really hard getting into that turn number 11. He gets side by side with Carson Hocevar. Next in the turn side, he slides in front of Hocevar. This is hard, Daniel Hemrick.
Let's see if Larson can pick up a few spots. Daniel Hemrick's right in front of him. Maybe 2 car lengths to the advantage as they roll up the hill to 2.
Yeah, this is just outside the top 10. Kyle Larson looking to the inside of Daniel Hemrick. Hemrick gets his wide out of turn 2. Now they're going to kick the cars to the right and a quick left on the brakes. Here at turn number 3, Kyle Larson has a head of steam there, but Hemrick running a perfect line, keeping to the bay.
Kyle Larson, the first of those cars that were on that 52-lap strategy before they pitted. They head into turn number 4. Not going to have enough this time for Daniel Hemrick. The good thing for Larson, he's got Carson Hocevar between he and Ross Chastain right now. They go through turn number 7. Behind them, all the cars jockeying for position, 2 wide through this section of racetrack.
Trying to see if Kyle Larson can break out of that bottleneck, at least for that lap around. Daniel Hemrick held him back in that spot. And right in front of Daniel Hemrick, you've got a bevy of other cars, so it's a little bit congested back in that part of the racetrack. Hemrick right now riding in the 11th spot. Justin Haley's having a pretty good day. Rob, he's up to 10.
He has had a really nice day. 2 laps ago, Cam Waters and John Hunter Nemechek tangled in turn 11. Both spun, both continue. No harm, no foul. But we continue to watch Kyle Larson struggle to try to get around Daniel Hemrick.
Yeah, he made a big run there for a bit, Doug Turnbull, but now that he kind of stalled out once he got behind Daniel Hemrick and running in that 12th spot.
Shows how good these cars and drivers are and how equal they are. Sometimes as Larson peeks to the inside of Hemrick again. Now, battling just outside the top 10, exit turn number 2. Hemrick gets on the brakes first. Larson brakes a little bit later, tries to get a run. Exits the corner a little straighter than Hemrick, and Hemrick keeps the spot, 11.
As they crest the highest part of the racetrack and start to run downhill, Kyle Larson again continuing to follow Daniel Hemrick. He's going to have to make a move. Hemrick's holding him up, and Larson makes the move now. He looks to his inside in the right-hander of turn number 7. They wrap around the roundabout. Kyle Larson takes that spot. Now Ross Chastain will try and get around Hemrick.
Larson knows it's getting close to go time here as we've ticked it down to 44 laps to go. He picks up 1 more spot in line. The next one to go after would be Justin Haley. 44 laps to go. Top 10 look like this. Chris Buescher, Martin Truex Jr., Allmendinger, Kyle Busch, Eric Jones is fifth. 6 through 10, Todd Gilliland, Michael McDowell, Logano, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and Justin Haley.
This NASCAR season, Toyota Racing isn't looking for just anyone to join the team. No, we're looking for bankers, the ones who are open on Sundays.
So if you live for the gravity-defying 31-degree banks like this one on Turn 4 at Daytona,
then we want you. Be part of the action at Toyota.com/racing. Toyota, let's go places. NASCAR is a registered trademark of National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing Inc.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Pit road starting to get busy now, Alan Cabana.
Chris Buescher, the leader, after pinning last at first at lap 21, now at lap 68. He is in again for what is likely his final stop in terms of fuel. They come around to the left side, trying to pack it as much full of fuel as they possibly can. They're going to keep him here, and now to Wendy Vetturini.
Martin Truex Jr. is in for 4 tires, fuel, and a chassis adjustment for him. They are going to hold him an additional 2 seconds to pack it full of Sunoco fuel. Brett McMillan.
Kyle Busch is in. He wants 4 right-hand turn to give him a chassis adjustment on the right side. A 4-tire change. They expect this will be his last stop. Joey Logano also in. They're around to the right side of his car, giving him a 4-tire change and an air pressure adjustment. Bubba Wallace also coming to a stop in his pit stall. He's going to get a 4-tire change. We'll let that car tighten up just a little bit.
And with all of this happening right now, that means A.J. Allmendinger will temporarily inherit the lead. Let's take time out for our stations. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver. And we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Here's Christopher Bell.
My Toyota Camry TRD race car isn't cheap to build and prepare. I have a pit crew that maintains and fixes my equipment. I have a spotter high above the track watching my back, talking me through turns and potential dangers on the track. I physically train to handle the stress of driving. And I have software helping my crew chief and engineers make the right strategy calls. And with all this, I never take my eyes off the road, and neither should you. One distraction can change everything in one instant.
We're in the middle of our round of green flag stops. This is our final round. Eric Jones just came in and he stopped. They held him here to make sure he was full of fuel. Tyler Reddick also made his final stop. Wendy Venturini.
Christopher Bell was on pit road for 4 fresh tires. Sunoco fuel. He has been fighting right rear lateral grip, and you see his tires that came off the car are all kinds of smears on them from that paint from contact out on the racetrack today. Alan Cabana.
And Tyler Reddick was a part of that group. Includes now Alex Bowman. Kind of went off sequence. They did it not too long ago, but now with everybody else coming down for their final fuel stop, we're seeing the strategy change for cars like Reddick and Bowman, who are now their final fuel stop.
So A.J. Allmendinger has inherited the lead. 10 seconds now over Kyle Larson. Has not pitted yet already. Allmendinger, 3 wins, 20 top 10s in 39 road races. He can get the job done turning left and right. Let's go back down to O'Reilly Auto Parts pit reporter Brett McMillan.
Daniel Suarez, a former winner here at Sonoma, is getting a 4-tire change. He had a quick stop of 10 seconds because he was one of the guys that stayed out till lap 52.
That's making a difference. I mean, we've talked about that a lot on super speedways this year, Mark. But today, oddly enough, it's coming into play here on a road course like Sonoma.
It sure is. And again, until everybody makes their final pit stop, we'll finally get a chance to see just how much these things have played out, how they played out for everybody. It looks like Allmendinger now will give up the top spot. He'll make his final pit stop of the afternoon. That turns the lead back over to Kyle Larson. So Larson now will work his way by the line. There'll be 39 laps to go as we go down to Alan Cabana.
A.J. Allmendinger pits from the lead. One of those cars are just waiting to get all the fuel in. Pretty clean stop for A.J. He's back on the racetrack.
So Kyle Larson right now being scored your race leader. Then it's Stenhouse, Chase Elliott, Corey LaJoie, Ryan Blaney, and Zane Smith. But we're still shuffling around the running order right now. And until all of these cars make their last stop, we won't truly know. Down to Brett McMillan.
And Ross Chastain finishing up his stop. Another quick stop, a 9-second stop for him. Another one of those guys that's staying out a long time, but a quick stop here.
So again, Kyle Larson among those guys who pitted, got trapped in the back, then floated back to the front. He is in the lead right now. When will he make his final pit stop? Chastain, who's been running up front, he's made it. Tyler Reddick has made that stop as well. Again, the question remains, when will Kyle Larson come on to pit road?
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network. Welcome back to Sonoma Raceway. Doug Rice and Mark Garrow in the booth. Out in the turns, Doug Turnbull, Brad Gilly, and Rob Albright. On pit road, it's Brett McMillan, Alan Cavani, and Wendy Venturini. This race has been slowed by 8 caution flags, but the last one came out on lap 55. We have now made it to lap 72, so we got a green flag run going now, our longest of the day, which is 15 laps. For the moment, Kyle Larson leads, and his Hendrick teammate Chase Elliott rides in second.
Larson last pitted at lap 52, Elliott at 51, Corey LaJoie, who's third, last pitted on lap 41, and finally, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. makes the pit stop. He had waited an awful long time to make that stop as he floated his way into the top 10. And so again, the big question is right now, when does Larson and Elliott pit? Because Blaney's already made his stop, it looks like, and we'll have to see how it goes.
And Mark, if this plays green for the time being, Chris Buescher will be the leader once again because he pitted on lap 68, and of all the cars that pitted on lap 68, he is in the best position as he's riding 6th right now. If I read that right, everybody else has got to come onto pit road. If it stays green and he doesn't have any problems, he would still be scored the leader again.
He's 18 seconds at this point behind Larson, but 4 seconds ahead of Martin Truex Jr.
So we got to take a break with 37 laps to go, and Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott running 1 and 2.
Joey Logano here for Hunt Brothers Pizza, where you can choose from 10 toppings, all at no extra charge.
Yes,
Hurry, call ahead to place an order, or grab a hunk of pizza on the go. Follow me on the track all season long, and visit huntbrotherspizza.com to find your next pizza.
Silence is golden, especially when it comes to brakes. That's why Napa Silent Guard are built to be one of the smoothest and most quiet brakes on the market. Made with fiber-reinforced shims that eliminate noise for the life of the pad, rubber-coated hardware for a better fit, and quality design that meets and exceeds OE performance. Silent Guard brakes deliver the stopping power drivers demand. Available now at Napa locations nationwide.
By downloading the free PRN mobile app, you can listen to all of our live race broadcasts anywhere. You'll also have easy access to all of our award-winning studio shows. Get all the latest racing information at your fingertips with the PRN mobile app.
36 laps to go here in the Toyota Save Mark 350. Kyle Larson leads by 4.5 seconds over Chase Elliott. The rest of the top 5, Corey LaJoie, Ryan Blaney, and Kaz Gralla, they have all got to make at least one more pit stop. The one guy that doesn't have to make it, the highest person that doesn't have to make it, 6th place running, Chris Buescher. From Sonoma, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Hey, it's Kathy Martindale and Paul Shad on Racing Country.
Hi, I'm Christopher Bell, and this is the fastest 2 hours on the radio, Racing Country. I still have a lot to prove to compete at the level that I want to compete at. We have more to accomplish in the sport, and we want to do better than what we've done the last 2 years.
Racing Country, music from the past.
The grassroots is where the hometown heroes of Friday and Saturday nights are, and where the future stars of NASCAR are made.
First career win for James Friesen in the Task Racing Sportsman Series.
PRN's At the Track is a people show about the people of grassroots racing. The stories and journeys from the grassroots are always unique. PRN's At the Track covers the people of America's fattest bull race. Hear PRN's At the Track each week on broadcast radio stations, the free PRN app, or at GoPRN.com.
Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott remain 1-2 in this race, have yet to make their final pit stop. Couple of heavyweights, Doug. Chase Elliott, 7 road course victories. Larson has 4, so between them, that makes 11.
And the guy that turned the fastest lap last lap, no surprise at all, was A.J. Allmendinger. Ross Chastain's turning some pretty quick laps now. The mark, if it rotates around in these first 5 pit, Busher has about a 3-second lead over Martin Truex Jr. I don't know if we'll go the rest of the way without a yellow. We had a lot of them at the start of it, but it seems like that the overall atmosphere has calmed down a bit here.
I would love to get some insight right now into what the crews of Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott are thinking. They're out front. Again, they pitted Larson on the last time on lap 52. Again, we're currently on lap 76. Elliott pitted on lap 51. And so there's no way it appears they can make it with the Sunoco fuel. And we'll have to see exactly what their strategy is because they remain out there on the racetrack. And again, as you talked about, Chris Buescher looking really strong right now the longer this thing goes on.
Chase Briscoe is headed to the garage transmission problems for the driver of the number 14 machine. So it's going to be a poor day at the office here for Chase Briscoe. 4 cars are out of the event. Cam Waters, Austin Dillon, Ty Gibbs, and Denny Hamlin barely made it a lap before his car gave up the ghost.
So Chase Briscoe earlier in the day had problems involved in one of these little multi-car melees we had early on. And he is the 5th guy that is going to be able to get dried off, toweled off, and into street clothes earlier than the rest of the guys.
Now, right now, the field pretty well strung out. We have a little graphic that shows us where there might potentially be a battle. The last lap, it was back around 33rd. So right now, everybody's got their spot picked out. I think it will take another yellow to bunch the field back up. Kyle Larson is leading this race by 5.7 seconds. But he last pitted on lap 52.
Again, would just love to know, again, these guys have worked out strategy. They've worked out their fuel mileage at this point, probably down to the last drop. And Larson remains out front. He has now led 7 laps. This is the first time today he has led. If you just joined us, Tyler Reddick has led the most laps, 35. Joey Logano led the first 16. They opted for pit strategy. Then he got involved in a wreck after the race was restarted. Chris Buescher has led 15 laps. Again, Larson 7 and counting. A.J. Allmendinger has led 3.
Kyle Larson now sliding down through the S's. Let's follow the Valvoline Chevrolet around for a lap or so. She's carved out a nice big lead through turn 9. The big sweeping right-hander that is turn 10. A lot of drivers say the sketchiest turn on the course. He's down in 11 in front of Rob.
He's kind of teasing each lap. He goes way to the outside of the racetrack, right directly across the entrance to pit road. And he looks like he's going to go down pit road again this lap, but of course he does not. Continues to build on his advantage over teammate Chase Elliott, who rides second. And Corey LaJoie still occupying that 3rd spot, but shortly he can be under some pressure from Ryan Blaney.
So we've completed now 78 laps, 32 to go. We also see Corey LaJoie, who's running 3rd. He last pitted on lap 41. So at some point, he is going to be in dire need of some Sunoco fuel.
Having a good run right now, but even in 3rd, he is 10 seconds behind the race leader, Brad Gilly. Kyle Larson, he may be fool's gold, but he's checked out.
Well, here's the thing for Kyle Larson right now. He has an absolute clean racetrack. There is no one near him in front of him. He's pulling away from Chase Elliott, who's behind him right now. Elliott just now coming through turn number 7. Kyle Larson is almost to the bottom of the S's. He's all by himself and can run fast, clean laps.
And that last lap, Larson was the 2nd quickest car on the racetrack, Chastain the quickest. So again, Larson, as Brad Gilly talked about, still running some very fast laps despite being very late into this green flag run. He has not pitted yet again, but while he's got the clean racetrack, I guess he's trying to make hay while the sun's shining.
And I would imagine Kyle Larson is pretty deft enough that he's saving fuel wherever he can, Doug Turnbull. The only place you can't save it here is heading up the hill to turn 2.
That's absolutely right. Yeah, and I've seen them get a little bit later to the gas as Kyle Larson exits turn 2 right now, and then ease back into it there. Just no need to push it right now. Whether they're trying to save fuel or just make it so they don't have to take as long to build a car, Brad Gilly, certainly there's strategy, even if you have to pit one more time.
One thing Kyle Larson learned over many years here at his home track, after winning 3 poles in a row back in the Jim Ganassi days, how to manage his race car. He did get a victory here at Sonoma Raceway, back when we still ran the carousel. But the one thing he's learned over time, managing the race car, you can see him doing that now while still making good lap time.
Nobody in the back, nobody in the front. Kyle Larson Larson's kind of out there all by his lonesome right now, almost 7 seconds ahead of Chase Elliott, and a good 15, 20 seconds up ahead of the guys in the back of the pack. So we'll have to see, will Larson come on to pit road this time? Answer again is no.
So Kyle Larson out there will check his lead. It's been growing each time by as he comes by start-finish line. That Valvoline red and blue and white machine dashes by us. And let's see what his lead looks like now. He has moved up to 6.8 seconds, the advantage over his teammate Chase Elliott. Let's go down to Wendy Venturini.
Chase Elliott's crew chief, Alan Gustafson, came over the radio and said, be thinking about what adjustments you might need on your race car to Chase Elliott. So we know they are just within a few laps of coming down pit road to add fuel again. When Chase Elliott responded back on the radio with Alan's question, do you need anything for your race car? A simple answer from Chase Elliott, no, it's good. Chase Elliott feels good, he's just gonna need some fuel.
30 laps to go here at Sonoma. Top 5 are Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott 7 seconds back. Then it's Corey LaJoie, Ryan Blaney, and Chris Buescher.
Fueling NASCAR champions on the track for over 20 years to innovating 94 octane, the highest octane on the market. Performance is what Sunoco does. All Sunoco fuel at the pump meets the same top-tier standards as the fuel used in NASCAR. From the track to your tank, you can trust Sunoco to help your vehicle perform at its peak.
With Wendy's new $3 English muffin deal, you can get your choice of a sausage or bacon, egg, and cheese English muffin with small seasoned potatoes.
And with all that for just $3, it really is a proper breakfast, wouldn't you say? Huh? With a light and fluffy toasted English muffin, crispy seasoned potatoes. Go on, Catherine, give it a go.
Okay. Jolly good morning.
Ah, close enough. Grab a proper breakfast with Wendy's new $3 English muffin deal for a limited time.
U.S. price of participation may vary. Select a request English muffin deal. Obtain discount. Not valid for a la carte or combo orders. Single item at regular price. Prices are higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Kyle Larson just given up the lead and made his final pit stop here at Sonoma. A 10.1 second stop, basically cut it in half. This final run for him, 81 laps down, 29 to go here at Sonoma.
When Larson came off the pit lane, he came out just behind Michael McDowell, who was running 9th at the time. And so now Kyle Larson with fresh tires, a full tank of Sunoco fuel, will give chase, and he'll try to chase down some of those guys who have pitted already.
Chase Elliott, one of those guys that still has to pit, and it looks like Chase Elliott will forego pit road this time by and stay out on the circuit. From Sonoma, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
We saw a lot of chaos in the closing laps of the race, so just trying to minimize that, make it more about a race than people just using each other up. I think it's needed. It was needed at all the road courses. While I don't think it's going to be a home run, I think that it'll be in the right direction. So many opportunities to either be really good or make mistakes, and they can start adding up on you quick.
For the latest NASCAR news without a restrictor plate, it's PRN's Garage Pass. For the station near you, check us out at GoPRN.com.
Hi, this is PRN's David Stiles. Join me each week when I head over to JC's Garage to talk NASCAR.
As of right now, if I were to name my top 5, I can tell you Chase Elliott wouldn't be in that top 5 with this next gen car. He has a lot to prove on the road courses with this next gen car, but I still don't think there's a real out front leader. I think Tyler Reddick has been outstanding.
That's JC's Garage, wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
Here's what we do know, that Chris Buescher, if everybody else has to pit that's ahead of him, will be the race leader. But it's getting a little bit tight, Rob Albright. I know you've been paying attention to this, between Buescher and the guy that's running behind him, Martin Truex Jr.
Now cue the Jaws music, because the guy who has dominated here is coming, taking big trips lap after lap into what should be the lead once everybody makes their stop.
Let's go to Wendy Venturini.
Ryan Blaney is on pit road. His car is terrible, he said. A quote from Ryan Blaney himself. It's so loose it has zero grip, but he took 4 tires and Sunoco fuel here on pit road. We do know our leader, Chase Elliott, will be pitting this time.
All right, so that'll be another one of the shoes to drop here, so that would mean Chase Elliott would give up the lead. Corey LaJoie would inherit that. And then next in line would be Chris Buescher. If that all cycles through like that, Chris Buescher, who's had the lead without the benefit of any caution, nobody's catching.
LaJoie will have to pit as well. Buescher should eventually inherit the lead. So here's Chase Elliott working his way to turn 11. He does make it on to pit road. Let's see if Corey LaJoie will follow him. He does. Chris Buescher is going to retake the lead as Elliott slows down to 40 miles per hour. He gives up the lead to make his final pit stop. Let's go to Wendy Venturini.
We already reported Chase Elliott doesn't need any adjustments to his car. It's going to be 4 tires. They pull a tear off. Crew Chief Alan Gustafson reaching over for that right rear tire. He's always handing over the tire. And Chase Elliott is away after that Sunoco fuel.
So when all this is said and done, Chris Buescher is now being shown as the leader. Then it's Truex, Kyle Busch, Allmendinger, and McDowell. Let's let you know in about one more lap here, the full leaderboard after everybody has a chance to cycle back around, because Mark, without the benefit of another caution, they may all be frozen in time. It's so hard to run somebody down from any real distance. I'm not saying it can't be done, because Truex is only a second and a half back, Kyle Busch 4.3 seconds back. But that once you get back around 4 seconds back, it's hard to make up that kind of time.
Kyle Larson is currently running in the 6th position, Doug, 8.1 seconds back. He's got a very, very fast car. Michael McDowell has shown flashes as well. But as you talked about, it is going to take a while to get there. Mark Truex Jr., a little bit of trouble with John Hunter Nemechek as he worked his way through turn 10, lost some ground to Chris Buescher. The gap, again, the delta there, 1.5 seconds. When they come by the next time, 25 laps to go in this race, will be able to set the running order for you. Everybody at this point has made their last scheduled pit stop. So Chris Buescher across the stripe, Mark Truex Jr. second, 1.8 seconds back. Kyle Busch is third across the stripe, 4.5 seconds back. A.J. Allmendinger, 5 seconds to the leader behind. In the fourth, Michael McDowell is fifth. Larson, 6.8 seconds. Made up a lot of ground on that last lap. Seventh is Chastain. Todd Gilliland, 8th. Ninth is Brad Keselowski. Tyler Reddick is jumping back to 10th.
Christopher Bell rides 11. Chase Elliott is 12th. 13th, Daniel Suarez. Eric Jones, 14th. 15th is Alex Bowman. He's 26 seconds back on our Napa leaderboard. Corey LaJoie is 16th. 17th is Ryan Blaney. Austin Cindric, 18th. 19th, Zane Smith. And 20th is Carson Hocevar.
Ryan Preece is 21st. 22nd, Daniel Hemrick. 23rd, Bubba Wallace. Joey Logano, 24th. 25th is Kaz Gralla. Harrison Burton, 26th. Noah Gragson is 27th. Then 28th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Josh Perry 29th, 30th, Justin Haley.
One lap down is John Hunter Nemechek. William Byron is 32nd. He's also minus a lap. -2 is going to be Will Brown. Chase Briscoe is out of the event, as well as Cam Walkers, Austin Dillon, Ty Gibbs, and Denny Hamlin. That's our Napa leaderboard when it comes to brakes. Napa Silent Guard brakes deliver the noise-reducing OE quality performance drivers demand. Available now at Napa, and that's only with 24 circuits left to go. We'll keep an eye on these differentials here. It's Chris Buescher with about a 2-second advantage over Mark Truex Jr. As you pointed out, Mark, Truex had a bad lap there. He's kind of got hung up behind John Hunter Nemechek.
He's had a hard time, Doug, recovering from that. As we look at the deltas now as they go by, everything remaining fairly stable that last lap for Chris Buescher, who's looking, Doug, for his first road course win of his career, his first in 2024, as he was the runner-up at Phoenix, also the runner-up at Kansas, the closest finish in NASCAR history. And I guess you could also say that he woulda, coulda, shoulda won Darlington if not getting into that wreck with Tyler Reddick. So Chris Buescher has been knocking at the door this year, but has yet to break through the victory lane.
He's not been bad out here at Sonoma. In 7 races, a couple of top 5s, he's averaged a 14th place finish. So not unheard of him to run well here. By the way, our Pit Report is today brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people. Let's check in with one of them now, and Brett McMillan.
Ever since Kyle Larson went back out, Doug, he's been quizzing his team about how much fresher his tires are than the guys in front of him. And he keeps getting told, hey, 7 to 10 laps of pressure. than Michael McDowell, than the number 1 car, than the number 17 car. And so they're saying, look, you're faster, you're 2 seconds faster than the 17 car, just be patient, you're going to be in good shape, you're going to get to the front. He's already back up to 5th, and he's now closing under AJ Allmendinger. So Kyle Larson's in pretty good shape as far as the team's concerned. Just keep it clean, be patient, and then feel like he's going to get to the front.
Kyle Larson 3 wide in front of Brad Gilly.
Big battle coming off of turn number 4A. Kyle Larson was on the outside of AJ Allmendinger and Michael McDowell. They sorted that out in turn number 7. Larson got around Allmendinger, now chasing McDowell through the S's.
Now through the S's here they come. It is going to be Kyle Larson working all over Michael McDowell. That's going to be a fight for the 5th spot. Let's see if Larson can pick off McDowell down in turn 11.
Both of them just passed the car of AJ Allmendinger, diving into turn number 11 on the bottom of the racetrack. Kyle Larson draws even with Michael McDowell on the exit, easily bypasses him, and now he is just moving up and he is flying.
Kyle Larson now is in 4th. They crossed the stripe with 22 laps to go in this race. Larson, though, 7.9 seconds behind leader Chris Buescher.
Man on fire is Kyle Larson. By the way, up front as the leaders go through turn 3A, Mark Truex Jr.'s cut just a bit into Buescher's lead. Now back to Larson. He's got past Michael McDowell, but has Kyle Busch far ahead as they climb over the hill.
Kyle Larson is a man on a mission with 22 to go. He's not sure if he's going to get that caution to catch up to Chris Buescher, who now is basically the distance of the short chute, about 940 feet behind. Kyle Larson now going through turn number 7. He'll head to the S's. That's where the leaders are as well.
Here is Buescher down through the S's into turn number 8, then 9 and 10. His lead over Truex now beginning to shrink. Larson now has a long ways to go before he catches up in 3rd place, Kyle Busch.
And you have to wonder about Kyle Larson. Yes, he has the freshest tires, but is he taking that advantage away from himself? How hard he's working to get around people. On turn 11, Chris Buescher, now his advantage over Martin Truex Jr. has shrunk dramatically to about 12 car lengths.
Here's the good news for Kyle Larson. He picked up 2 spots the last lap, but he dropped back 2 seconds behind race leader Chris Buescher as the leaders are back up to 2.
And that leader is Chris Buescher, who is the only driver in the top 7 right now to not have a Cup Series road course win, though he has 1 or 2 in the Xfinity Series. Martin Truex Jr. keeping him honest, so it seems to have a better car. Car number 19 pressed the hill out of 3. Buescher still the leader, of course.
Chris Buescher now hitting turn number 4A. They'll hit the short chute. Martin Truex Jr. does appear to be catching, but the question is, how hard is Chris Buescher pushing him right now? He knows he's going to have to save some tires. Kyle Larson has moved up into that 4th spot. Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., the only 2 cars between Larson and leader Chris Buescher.
Leader Chris Buescher down through turn 8 into turn 9. That's a slight right-hand turn here. Truex is within sight, but still about a second and a half back as they are into turn 10. It's the Ford of Chris Buescher leading the Toyota of Martin Truex Jr. Let's check in on pit road now and get our latest pit road update from Alan Cabana.
The only concern on Chris Buescher's radio right now is the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. and where he is on the racetrack. They're telling Chris, hey, look, you have to improve for your turn 11. That's the only place Truex is gaining on you during the lap. They're telling Chris Buescher to really paint that white line, keep it as close to the white line as possible. That's the only time Truex is able to make up any ground.
The gap has been cut to 1.1 seconds between Chris Buescher and Martin Truex Jr. They're back on top of the course.
They are in turn number 3 right now. Truex sees the bait in front of him and is trying to run harder. He got more aggressively through both turns 2 and 3, Brad Gilly. We've got to fight for the lead.
Now we're talking car lengths. It's about 8 car lengths difference between Chris Buescher and Martin Truex Jr. Heavy braking zone. They're going to drop it down to 2nd gear as they go around this roundabout on the right-hander in turn number 7. Chris Buescher this time really smooth. He gets back to the gas quick, but Martin Truex Jr. chases him down the hill.
It's amazing that earlier in this race, Truex was spun out, came out onto the racetrack about a mile behind everybody. Now in the closing stages, he's fighting for the win. They're back in turn 10.
Martin Truex Jr. noted for his surgical precision behind the wheel here at technical Sonoma Raceway, and he is evidencing that right now. Going in turn number 11, he cuts that gap by another 4 or 5 car lengths. He's just 4 car lengths back of race leader Chris Buescher.
Back to start-finish line this time. Chris Buescher knows that Truex is back there. We'll call it a half a dozen car lengths. Through the lazy left-hander, they'll head back up to the top of the hill.
These laps playing out similar to how Buescher, when he was leading Darlington, had to cough up the leader, got close to it at Jamie Kansas. This time around, as they exit turn number 2, it's Truex chasing Buescher. Buescher is trying to get his first win of the season, and so is Truex. Then it's a left-hander, then a right-hander out of turn 3A.
Chris Buescher not saving anything. Right now, it's all hope. That car length advantage that he has been reduced to about 6 car lengths in this section, and that's a big difference on the racetrack. Chris Buescher now hard on the brakes in turn number 7. Martin Truex Jr. as well. Great section of the race course for Martin Truex Jr. He continues to close as they head to the S's.
While all of that's going on, Kyle Larson has gained on Kyle Busch for the 3rd spot. So that battle is tidying up there. As they go through turn 9, Busch is still the race leader. We'll call it 10 car lengths over Martin Truex Jr. Maybe 15 car lengths back to Kyle Busch. But he's got to worry now about Kyle Larson.
The drama continues to ratchet up. Battle for the lead, battle for 3rd into turn 11. Chris Buescher, his advantage is stable this lap over Martin Truex Jr. But Kyle Larson, meanwhile, has caught Kyle Busch as they hustle off of turn 11.
Buescher now sees Truex in his rear view mirror. Kyle Busch, he looks back there, and man, looming large is Kyle Larson. Larson just 2 car lengths off his back bumper as they swing through the left-hand turn 1, head up to the right-hander in turn 2.
It's a battle of the Kyles for position 3, and Kyle Larson definitely in that 4th position has a better race car than Kyle Busch right now as he charges in turn 3. Gets on the gas first, exiting turn 3A. They are right next to each other heading down the hill.
Battle for the lead, battle for that 3rd spot. Right now, Chris Buescher has the lead. It's been reduced to 4 car lengths in turn number 7. Now the 3rd spot, Kyle versus Kyle. Larson looks to the inside of Kyle Busch. Busch waves the white flag. He gets it up as they go through turn number 7.
So Kyle Larson now has moved up to 3rd. At one point, he was better than 8 seconds behind. Last time, he cut it to under 5. But does he have enough time? There's only going to be 17 laps to go the next time they come by the start-finish line here at Sonoma.
Fuel should not be an issue. However, tires may come into play. How hard have you had to run to either make position or maintain position? Off turn 11, the gap now 4 car lengths.
17 laps to go. Kyle Busch that dropped back to the 4th spot. Larson is 3rd. Truex Jr. still rides 2nd. Chris Buescher tenaciously hanging on to the lead.
To show you how easy it is to file a claim with Geico, we hired a Shakespearean actor.
Oh, woe is me. Wherefore are thy claims help when I hadst offender vendor?
Pardon the interruption, but when you file a claim with Geico, your claims team will be in touch right away.
But willst thee forget about me later when thou needest updates?
No. They'll always be there to, helpeth you out.
Well, I suppose that I should be known something else, like my lactose intolerance. Why, it must dairy disagree.
Great stuff, without all the drama.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Leaders come back to the start-finish line 16 laps after they cross the line. Chris Buescher continues to lead over Martin Truex Jr. We'll call it 0.6 of a second. From Sonoma, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network. On the inside, Byron in the middle, Chastain up high.
Hamlin now beginning to come to the front. He's got the edge now. He'll take the lead away.
Brian Blaney sliding down into the crash. There was a lot of bumping and grind, and Blaney noses into the infield retaining wall.
Ross Chastain doing a great job. Truex right there, big in his mirror as they race down the backstretch here. Harrison Burton is spinning down the back straightaway. Everybody going to the top side. Here comes Kyle Larson. Larson dives to the bottom of the racetrack. He wants to lead all 4.
Chris Buescher has level and a spin off of turn 4.
Yeah, we've got a ton of cars that are in this one, and Larson is certainly one of those cars. Trouble coming out of turn 4. Hamlin is sideways. The car spins down on the apron of the racetrack. Byron takes that brightly painted number 24 to the front. He gets a big shove from Daniel Suarez.
This is PRN.
So we now know the story. Here at the end of the Toyota Save Mart 350 here at Sonoma Raceway, everybody has made their final stops. Chris Buescher, Martin Truex Jr. up front, Truex a half a second behind. They last pitted on lap 68. Larson waited until lap 81. His tires are 13 laps better. He's 3.8 seconds back. It appears, Doug Rice, it's among those three guys to decide this.
Without a caution, yes, it's definitely between Buescher, Martin Truex Jr., and Kyle Larson as they come back down through the S's. Chris Buescher has the lead, but this time you can see it. You don't need a stopwatch to let you know that Truex is reeling in the race leader through turn 9 into turn 10. Let's call it a half dozen car, well, 3 car lengths now for Buescher over Truex.
Truex gets through turn 10 better than Buescher. That enables him to close that gap. Buescher has not put a wheel wrong, but I think the guy behind him not only has more experience here, but he has a car that is able to challenge him. Buescher's had to run extremely hard. He still leads into turn 12.
Truex got in deeper to 11, but it cost him on the exit. Buescher maintains that 3-4 car length lead. Kyle Larson, meanwhile, has pulled to within 2.9 seconds of the leader. At one point, he was 8 seconds behind.
And it looks like Martin Truex Jr. exiting turn 2, exits a totally different line, wide, while Buescher goes to his right. They get through 3 and 4. Truex deeper in each corner, hounding the leader, Chris Buescher, and Kyle Larson's loving that as he catches him.
Less than 1 car length. This could be his chance through turn number 4A. They go down the short chute. Chris Buescher on the gas, now hard on the brakes toward turn number 7. Still maintains a car length gap over Martin Truex Jr., while Kyle Larson continues to close in third.
Again, they make their way down to the S's, this with 13 and a half laps to go, we'll say, as they work their way back downhill. Again, Truex, great exit, turn number 9 as they head towards 10.
No doubt Truex's crew chief, James Small, is telling his driver, you gotta get around Buescher because Kyle Larson is coming in a hurry. Into turn 11, very deep goes Truex, but Buescher holds him off momentarily. Let's see who gets the better exit. Last lap it was Buescher. Pretty much dead even, but Larson is continuing to narrow the margin.
Truex is getting close enough to bite the mailman here as they slip across the start-finish line, but Buescher once again pulls out just a little bit more by an extra car length.
Yeah, that Bass Pro Shops car is hunting the big submarine in front of them. Chris Buescher now takes a more conservative inside line to turn number 3. Truex zigs when he zags. He's right behind him. They are still a car length apart. Buescher the leader. Kyle Larson still catching him.
Martin Truex Jr. is going to have to make a big move here. Turn number 4A. It's a right-hander. Chris Buescher still right in front of him, able to maintain the gap. But let's see. Martin Truex Jr. now tries to look to the inside of Chris Buescher in turn number 7. Buescher slams the door. He'll get out of turn number 7 ahead of Truex.
Truex is right there, making Chris Buescher's life miserable. It's only going to be about 3 more laps, maybe not that much, before Kyle Larson makes this a 3-way battle for the lead. They're into 10. Buescher by 2 car lengths. It's car lengths back to Kyle Larson now. Let's call it 10 as he rides in third.
Nobody outbreaks Martin Truex Jr. getting into turn 11 through the years. I've seen it so many times, and he gets to the right rear quarter of Buescher's car. Buescher back on the throttle. Truex is right there. We've got to fight for the lead. 10 car lengths back to third place Larson.
Just 12 laps to go here at Sonoma Raceway. Buescher trying to hold off Martin Truex Jr. Kyle Larson trying to reel the lead duo in. Michael McDowell is taking over 4th from Kyle Busch. He gives chase as well.
A masterclass in road course racing in this top 5, but the best battle is for the lead. The Toyota horsepower of Martin Truex Jr. He slips a little bit in turn 3, allows Buescher to open up a car length and a half lead on him, and now Kyle Larson is almost only 2 car lengths back from Truex.
That's exactly what Chris Buescher needed, and it really does bring Kyle Larson into the picture. Chris Buescher now 4 car lengths ahead of Martin Truex Jr. 5 car lengths back from Martin Truex Jr. is Kyle Larson. We now have a 3-car fight for the lead.
Kyle Larson is finally there. It's an equidistance now between Buescher and Truex and Larson as they make their way through the S's. Again, swishing downhill through turn 9, back into 10.
We may have had a semi-ugly rash of cautions in the first 2 stages, but here in the closing laps of this race, 3 cars battling hard for the lead. The Ford of Chris Buescher, the Toyota of Martin Truex Jr., and the Chevrolet of Kyle Larson, now literally nose to tail, charging off turn 11.
That was a good lap last time around for Chris Buescher. He's actually pulled away a couple of car lengths from Truex. Truex, though, has got to worry about Kyle Larson. He's 4 car lengths back in
looking right out the windshield and up the hill into turn 2. 130-foot elevation gain. Martin Truex Jr. trying to chase Chris Buescher. He looks to his outside, but still is a car lead behind. He breaks later than him and then dives into 3. Quickly back at the gas. Maybe shifting once up the hill to gain some speed, but Buescher holds the lead. Larson right behind him.
Trouble on turn number 10. Daniel Hemrick spins. He'll try to keep the car off the wall. He will. So far we stay green, but he's sitting sideways in the short straightaway. He'll get going, and the green remains out.
Leaders now in turn number 7. They are bumper to bumper. Chris Buescher, Martin Truex Jr., and Kyle Larson.
As they again make their way through the S's, left, right, left. Again, they're tied together, nose to tail, sliding back down the hill. Buescher continuing to hold on, but how long can he do it?
I don't know about the rest of you who are listening to us, but this is way too much fun to be watching this afternoon. Nobody able to get around anybody else. Chris Buescher with a potential victory at hand, perhaps. Truex charges to his back bumper in turn 11, entering it, but will lose a couple of car lengths on exit.
100 laps down a scant. 10 laps left to go here at Sonoma. It's Buescher, Truex, and Larson. They're all separated by 4 car lengths. They climb the hill back to 2.
They are salivating, hoping to drink the wine out of the goblet here in just a few laps, and 10 laps in fact. As Buescher slips a little bit exiting turn 2. Martin Truex Jr. gets on the gas faster than him, but they're still a car length apart. And Kyle Larson only 2 lengths the car them. 1, 2, 3. Down the hill out of 3.
In the middle of this, Martin Truex Jr. is having to play both offense and defense. He wants to get around Chris Buescher, but he also has to look in his rearview mirror. Buescher a car length in front of Martin Truex Jr. Kyle Larson slipped up a bit. He lost a little bit of ground. He'll try and gain it back now in the S's.
Down through the S's they slide. Positions do not change. Chris Buescher, 2 car lengths over Truex. 2.5 car lengths back to Kyle Larson in third. They all run the identical line through turn 9 into turn 10. They swing it out a little wide, then cut that turn as they head back down to the hairpin at turn 11.
Three drivers who all have reputations of being hard racers, but clean racers going at it. It might take a little bit of ugly to get a win for either one of Truex. And Truex is dead even with Buescher. Coming off turn 11, they're side by side down the front stretch.
Truex got to the inside of Buescher in turn 11. They're now side by side in turn 1. Buescher on the outside of that turn, and now Truex on the outside. Inside now, turn number 2 is Truex.
Kyle Larson is loving this because Truex goes to the lead. Buescher slips exiting 2. Larson's going to get past Buescher. New leader, Martin Truex Jr. in turn number 3. Larson second. Buescher heartbroken in third, but he's not done yet.
Now what Martin Truex Jr. needs is to try and pull away from Kyle Larson. The tough thing is, Larson was able to get around Buescher as well. Larson goes way to the inside of turn number 4. He drives to the inside of Martin Truex Jr. The crowd is on their feet here in Sonoma. The hometown driver back in the lead out of turn number 7.
They make contact as they get into the S's, but Larson gets the lead for the second time this afternoon. He does it with 9 laps to go in this race. Can Truex overtake him again? Larson's tires 13 laps better.
Kyle Larson's tires are newer. However, they may have had a little more wear because he had to make a number of passes to get to the race lead.
Wait a second, my dog's coming.
He is the race leader, meaning Larson, but he is not clear of Truex's pressure yet. Because Martin is just a couple of car lengths back.
8 laps left to go. It's Kyle Larson, then Chris Buescher in that order. Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., Chris Buescher back in third with 8 remaining.
With Wendy's new $3 English muffin deal, you can get your choice of a
really
sausage
good
or
lap.
bacon, egg, and cheese
Come
English
on
muffin
now.
with small seasoned
Get a
potatoes.
good finish. Like a better finish. Wow, look at that lap time. My dog's doing way better than Larson. Let's see what happens here. Let's see if my dog can do it just like Larson.
Close enough.
Let's see.
Breakfast with Wendy's new $3 English
My dog has a chance to get a good finish or the win if he has some lap times. Look at this, 2 points.
Switching your wireless service to Total by Verizon Easy.
He was like
Now
4
you
or
can
5
get
seconds
50%
back.
off
Look at him
any
now.
unlimited data phone plan. That's one line for only $25 a month, and you keep the phone you love. Hurry, this is a limited time offer. So find a store or switch suavemente at totalbyverizon.com. Offer ends July 31st, 2024. Subject to cancellation after 12 months. Available exclusively online and in Total by Verizon stores. Requires a compatible unlocked device and SIM. See totalbyverizon.com for device compatibility and additional details. Taxes and fees may apply.
Just about 7.5 laps left to go. Kyle Larson leads. Martin Truex Jr., Chris Buescher, and
Look at him.
Michael
He's
McDowell.
coming.
This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network. Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
Where's his place in all of this?
So I look at Jimmy Johnson, and maybe I have a little bit different perspective because I grew up with Richard Petty while he was winning all of his championships and stuff. And it was tough. It's tough to win championships. I mean, so many great drivers, as we go back in time, won lots of races and never won championships. So many great drivers won lots of races, never won Daytona. Those big moments, they just couldn't get over that hump. So to win 7, no matter how you win 7, is amazing. I believe, and I have said this a million times on a million different occasions, Jimmy Johnson's 5 in a row is the most underrated record in all of sports. It gets very little attention. Very little attention. We talk about Tiger Woods winning all these majors. We talk about Michael Jordan and LeBron James. You talk about everything that Richard Petty has done, everything Dale Earnhardt Sr. 5 in a row. 5 that nobody's done 5.
There's 6 to go.
PRN will now take you commercial-free to the checkered flag, brought to you by Toyota. For the latest Toyota racing information, visit toyotaracing.com. 6 laps to go. Leader Kyle Larson is up there in turn 4.
He got turn 3 right now. In fact, as he's on the brakes and back on the gas, he's opened up about a 4-car lead over Truex. About a 6th distance back to Chris Buescher at 3rd, and Michael McDowell's joined that top 4 conversation, Brad Gillian.
Truex is trying to keep Kyle Larson honest, but Larson is now starting to pull away. I think that best battle that might start to shape up could be the one for 3rd. Michael McDowell's got a very fast race car as he chases Chris Buescher now through turn number 7.
As they work their way down through the S's, again, Kyle Larson in control. Michael McDowell, a very fast car late in this race. He's trying to track down Chris Buescher for 3rd. It might be too late for Michael McDowell, but it looks like he'll at least get a top 5.
You know, the 3 behind Larson are hoping either A, that there's a caution flag late, or B, he makes a mistake. I don't think either is a likelihood, but always a possibility. Off turn number 11, Kyle Larson's advantage over Martin Truex Jr. is 10 car lengths, and the two of them have separated themselves from Chris Buescher.
5 laps remaining here at Sonoma. It's Larson, then Truex. It's Michael McDowell right now trying to find his way to 3rd and get a podium finish here at Sonoma.
And big comeback for McDowell, who had a crash earlier in the race, lost a bunch of track positions. He's really catching up to his fellow Florida Buescher for 3rd. They're going to work in turn number 3 right now. McDowell just hunting him down, driving more aggressively as out front. Kyle Larson still pulling away.
As they crest the highest point of the racetrack and start their way downhill, Kyle Larson, 4 car lengths over Martin Truex Jr. That's 7 car lengths back to Chris Buescher, but right on Buescher's back bumper, Michael McDowell. He's not going to have enough room this time through turn number 7 to make a move, but he certainly gained a lot of ground.
They weave down through the S's. You can't make any assumptions. One slip by Kyle Larson, and Truex will be ready there to pounce as they come out of 8A and into turn 9. Larson by about 10 car lengths. It's about 20 car lengths back to 3rd place running Chris Buescher, and then maybe 4 back to 4th place running the hard charging Michael McDowell in 4th.
And he's just a couple of car lengths back of Buescher as they charge on turn number 10. Truex deeply into turn number 11. He's able on entrance to gain a little bit of ground, and he gets it back up on the exit from the corner.
Michael McDowell gets inside of Chris Buescher, turn 11. He'll take over the 3rd spot. Again, the leader is Kyle Larson by 0.7 of a second over Martin Truex Jr., 3 seconds over new 3rd place man Michael McDowell.
I am wondering if Martin Truex Jr. cooled his car down just a little bit to recoil for another lead attack, because now suddenly they're just 4 car lengths apart through turns 3 and 3A. Truex driving more aggressively than Larson, trying to chase him down.
Martin Truex Jr. pulling everything he can out of that tackle box to try and chase Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson goes just a little bit wide in turn number 4. Does not slow him down one bit. Larson down through the roundabout in turn number 7. He'll go smoothly into the S's.
As they work their way back downhill, time is running out. The next time by the start-finish line, 3 to go. Here's Larson safely through the S's. Truex again trying to chase him down with a big gap over 3rd place, Michael McDowell.
In situations like this, we often use the term managing the gap for the race leader. That appears to be what Kyle Larson is doing. His advantage is they charge into turn number 11, about 8 car lengths, and shrinks to 4 as he gets to the entrance to the turn. On exit, however, it'll stretch back out to around 8 car lengths.
3 laps when they cross the stripe this time. 3 laps for Kyle Larson to maybe get his 2nd win here at Sonoma. But I'll say this, though,
Kyle.
Truex is not letting it get
Oh,
away.
no.
Nor should he. He is winless this season, this
perfect.
Mark Truex Jr., and any win is important. Kyle Larson, he pulls him
Can
about
Kyle
3
get, like,
car
the
lengths, exiting
top
turn number 2
line
as
or
Truex
so?
just gave him some time. He slipped exiting the corner there, and his precious finesse going to the racetrack. Truex Jr. just let Larson get a little further ahead.
Kyle Larson's hometown fans here at Sonoma Raceway can feel the anticipation as the laps wind down. Larson, all he has to do now is hold smooth laps, starting to pull away more from Mark Truex Jr. Wraps it around turn number 7,
Why is that
makes
on
another
FS2?
left-hander as he continues down the course.
Race. Alright.
Sliding back down through the S's one more time. Kyle Larson, equal distance that he was last time by, we'll call it about 8 car lengths over Martin Truex Jr. It's a good ways back to third place running Michael McDowell. Think he's going to have to be satisfied with this one. It'll take a mistake on Larson's part, but Truex still trying to apply the heat into 11.
Well, Mark Truex Jr., Sonoma is either win or lose. He considers second place a loss to himself, but he has had a great afternoon battling back from a spin which took him to the back of the pack, and he's losing more and more ground to the race leader.
Larson across the stripe, 2
Here,
laps
2
to go.
to go.
Battle heating up now for 5th. Kyle Busch has it. Chastain has caught him. We'll keep an eye on that as we keep an eye on the leaders as well.
Please,
The
Kyle,
leader,
get
Kyle Larson,
fifth.
is in turn 2, while the Busch and Chastain battles just back in turn number 1, as Larson seems to be taking care of his stuff, and Truex has fallen far behind from that. Now picking up that 5th place battle as Kyle Busch makes a conservative exit of turn 2. Ross Chastain wiggled his car around Brad Gilly. They're in turn 3 right now. That's the fiercest battle inside the top 5. It's Busch and then Chastain for 5th.
Watching that battle for 5th now shape up as they head to turn number 4. Ross Chastain now breaks Kyle Busch in turn number 4. He gains a little bit of ground, still about 3 car lengths off the back bumper. In turn number 7, again, Kyle Busch blocks low this time. Chastain tries to outbreak him, and that chase continues.
That battle happening, though, 8 seconds behind leader Kyle Larson, who's begun to stretch away from Martin Truex Jr. The leaders are back in 10.
Kyle Larson now, he'll go from 4th to 3rd down into 2nd gear. Routine at this juncture of the race as he dives into turn number 11.
Here we go.
10 car lengths back is Mark Truex Jr. 15.
Come on. There you go. Here you go. 1 to go. 1 to go. Larson, do it. My God, like 3rd place. Awesome. Let's get shorts. 1 to go. 1 to go. 1 to go.
Giving up on the race for the lead. Now we're just mentioning 2nd place. Michael McDowell 2.5 behind Truex.
Busher, anyway. Oh, what is this, Chastain? What is this? Come on. Okay, get back going. Get back going. I think Kyle can still get a top 10.
Kyle Busch and everybody on that 8 car. That's going to be unfortunate. Had a top 5 going. That's a tough one.
Okay, anyway.
Last corner.
Kyle Larson.
California's Kyle Larson, the 31-year-old, is going to power off turn 11. Take this little kick here to the checkered flag.
Kyle Larson wins at Sonoma. All right, let's go. Oh yeah, let's go. Larson deserves this. Ah, my God, 2nd? Not bad, but poor Truex. Kyle, did he get a top 10? I'm not sure. Tom Gill. Oh no. That is. Here comes Kyle. What is he doing? Okay, here's your leaderboard right there, guys. Oh, man. Oh, come on, come on. Or is the pace car gonna push him to the finish line?
Safety truck is hanging back behind Martin Truex, who could walk across the line faster than that car is rolling right now. Hey, fastest car that's on this weekend is for a race cam. After all the stuff that happened, they put their cars right. They had the fastest car in the race trim. It didn't happen again.
Let's go. Larson is your winner and Truex. Finally. Finally. I will stream another race. So I will. Second one as normal for Larson. Alright. I will do another race like this, guys. I will. Like another stream. Doesn't matter. I'll probably do Xfinity and Cup. And then trucks next year. Or a truck race this year. Who knows? So this is your winner. See you later, guys. I'm going to end it off here.